we back. Sean! We back. Hit that like button, man. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Ready to get busy. Wild King Nights Part 3. Cassie caught lying on the stand. Fed's case crumbling on Diddy. Fed's case crumbling, y'all. We done went through a whole week and we ain't heard no evidence of sex trafficking. Now they got Don Richards or whatever the fuck her name is. Let him outside, please. On the stand speaking about more domestic violence. Telling y'all, man, this Diddy case bigger than what you think. They coming at the OnlyFans models next. And OnlyFans models next. Get prepared. And they only attacking black people. So of Diddy being a freak. Make sure you ain't on OnlyFans at the very least or participate. Yeah, right? Hit that like button, though, y'all. We ready to get busy. They coming after the porn industry too, yo. Next at the Diddy. So after Diddy, they coming at the OnlyFans models. Then they coming after the porn industry. Cause I don't see what's the difference. Yo, what is the difference about the domestic violence, right? Cause Diddy not charged with domestic violence. Take out the domestic violence in Diddy's situation and just deal with the freaky shit that he was involved in. Yo, what is the difference between Diddy and the porn industry? Yo, I told y'all, Cassie was a porn star, yo. She might. That's what she was. That's what she was to Diddy. That's what she, I mean, I'm just telling y'all. We walking a fine line, man. And I always tell y'all, be careful about what doors you allow these people to open. Once they open, it's open season on everybody. You understand what I'm saying? They gonna start getting people that's less freaky than Diddy. Like I told you, they coming at the OnlyFans next. They ready to shut that shit down. You out there traveling state to state, fucking on camera for a bag. You been sex traffic. You engaging in prostitution, racketeering, because you're going state to state. That's federal. It's the same shit. That way. So people got so much disdain for Diddy, you know, because all the freaky shit that he been involved in. Then you got Justin Bieber. Y'all see Justin Bieber put out a statement. People don't even believe him. It's like, you can't win in this internet shit. There's no winners, there's only losers. You understand? How Justin Bieber put out a statement denying that he was touched by Diddy, and people to cover, it's like, man, he lied. Yeah, I ain't got no choice. He could be lying, but we'll never know. I mean, we can't listen to what Gene Deal say. Matter of fact, let's check out Gene Deal. And then the other girl, the Danny, what the fuck the other girl name is? The Danny Kane chick. She just like the rest of them niggas. Did all that slandering on a man, but don't want to go to court and testify. Make that make sense? Aubrey O'Day. So you slandered the man. Hey, yo, is this clear? Y'all let me know in the comments. Make sure we clear, man. Did all that slandering, but then say this. Aubrey O'Day, who has been extremely outspoken when it comes to Diddy and his alleged crimes, will not testify in this trial despite previous reports by outlets. Why she won't testify? You think it was her decision? Do you think it was her decision not to testify, or was it the feds? The feds trying to strengthen their case. I'm thinking they're looking for anybody that's willing to testify. Just like Lil Rod ain't testifying. All these people, just like Jane Dale ain't testifying. All these people that put these wild allegations on Diddy all these years created this whole media firestorm. Ain't none of them testifying. Why? I'm sure the feds contacted them. I'm sure they got interviewed. Y'all don't think so? The former Danny Kane member was apparently never subpoenaed by the prosecution or the defense, but she did reveal she met with Homeland Security. So what they deemed her allegations false? If she met with Homeland Security and they decided not to bring her up to testify, what does that say about her testimony? Many fans took to social media to express their support and stated that they wanted to hear her testimony from the star after she shared that she was in New York. However, Aubrey says her post was intended to let people know she's there to enjoy herself, not take part in the trial officially. Though she's not testifying, she's appearing on a podcast. Look, she rather go on a podcast. She don't want justice, man. Fuck you, dude. Why was you slandering that man all these years? Motherfuckers chasing clout. But let's go to Jane Dale, because, you know, anytime Diddy get arrested, you get Jane Dale. I mean, Diddy ain't come up. Jane Dale finds his way on the internet. Let's check out what Jane Dale had to say. Sleep the Art of Dialogue. Did they cost $1 million? Almost.
Speaking of Cassie husband, they saying that he was mean mugging Diddy in the court when the prosecutors were showing Cassie pictures of the 13 men that she was having sex with, that Diddy made her have sex with.
Hold up, y'all. No fucking way. Yeah, I don't see no comments. Hold on. Yeah, they've been fucking with our lives lately. I ain't see no comments at all. LeVar, what it is? What's up, Will? Hey, William, we'll get the fuck out of here then, pimp. This ain't for you. If you don't understand real. Hey, man. Hey, stupid man. Hey, yo. Diddy might be ordered something. I'm trying to tell y'all, man. That man ain't having $1,000 of baby oil for nothing. You heard me? we might should all feel some type of way that we can't have freak offs. Not the freaky shit Diddy was doing though. Diddy took freak offs to another level. Okay, man. You talk about sex filled drug time of his life, Harry. That's why Cassie enjoyed it so much. She ain't never say nothing like it. I think Cassie still having freak offs. She ain't stopped that shit, man. You know what? Once you start going on those paths, you know, that's the point of no return. Ain't no coming back. That's like sniffing dope. You hear me? Once you start sniffing dope, you gonna be a dope fiend for at least the next 15 years. Yeah, maybe 10 if you get out early. But Cassie ain't stopped. Exactly, y'all. That's how I feel about it. And that's what I said the other day. If they not stopping this shit completely, then what are we doing here? If they not stopping this freaky shit that's going on in the industry completely, then why the fuck is Diddy on trial? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it, to be honest. Now, if we're gonna stop the quid pro quo, that's all this was quid pro quo. Oh, yo, and Cassie is complicit because Cassie has a history of dealing with guys that she think is gonna further her career. So she knew what she was doing. And that's the key component that everybody who's speaking about this case is leaving out. Yo, Cassie was well aware of what she was doing. Before Diddy, she was dealing with the producer nigga that was 10 years older than her. That was before Diddy. Cassie was using these guys as stepping stools to further her career. It just so happened her career stalled. You know what I mean? She thought she was going to use Diddy to get up and she was going to participate in these freak offs. And that was going to help further her career, and it didn't. It didn't. And she admitted she still got love for the past. You know what I mean? She don't even hate Diddy. So this nigga did all this shit to you, and you don't hate him? Man, Cassie love the freak offs, man. Y'all keep letting these motherfucking people lie like she ain't enjoy that shit. She says, yo, they said her husband called her while she was fucking dead. And the defense said it was a FaceTime call. She said, I don't remember if it was a FaceTime or not. So what does that tell you? Is he involved in a freak off? Did Diddy freak off with Cassie and her husband? Shit, maybe. Never fucking know. This shit getting weird out here. Yo, she tried to extort him first. That's another part. People just glance. Cassie tried to extort Diddy. And like I've been saying the whole time. Yeah, hell yeah, yo. That's it. She ain't admit it was a FaceTime. She said he did call though. But she ain't admit it was a FaceTime. But the defense said it was a FaceTime. But nobody is talking about that, man. Yo, she tried to extort the man. And remember when I said a while ago, I said, yo, what's the difference between Diddy holding tapes and Cassie holding tapes? Y'all remember I posed that question? I posed that question a few times online. What is the difference? They trying to convince us that Diddy held tapes as leverage, but Cassie held evidence. That don't make sense. If Diddy was holding tapes as leverage, Cassie was too. And then you find out that before she filed this lawsuit, Cassie was going to write a tell-all book. So she reached out to Diddy. That's how the lawsuit even came to play. She reached out to Diddy, wanting $20 million, and she wasn't going to publish the book. Yo, that is called extortion. Now, I do believe now, based off that, Cassie do got immunity. They gave her immunity, yo, because Cassie committed crimes. That's extortion. If I call you and I got a motherfucking video of your girl getting a train ran on him, or your boyfriend being slapped in the joint or something, and I be like, man, look, give me 5,000, man. I got this video. I'm thinking about releasing it to YouTube. Give me 5,000. I ain't gonna release it. That's extortion, man. That's a crime. Cassie committed crimes. She paid sex workers. She did a whole bunch of shit. Then you got this fuck boy. And people, he like to portray himself like he a man of honor. But you ain't no man of honor, nigga. Yo, you don't hang with a nigga or work for a nigga all these years, then start coming back and talking about shit you heard. Yeah, man. This man worked for Diddy for years. And then when the indictment came down, he fell all the way back. They asked him, are you going to testify? Yo said, testify to what? You know, I just was talking about what I heard. That's what Yo said. He said, I was just talking about what I heard. So you went on platform after platform, Jane Dale. Somebody need to ask you this. You went on platform after platform, Jane Dale, slandered this man with rumors that gets presented as truth because of your connection to him. Yo, he down bad for that, man. Yo, what if your homeboy or homegirl started going on interviews talking about everything they heard about you? How the fuck would you look at him? How would you look at him? If your homeboy or homegirl went on interview after interview, not things that they know. No, they ain't talking about just things that they heard. That's what the fuck he did. He ain't getting paid for it. Dirty motherfucker, man. It's a dirt bag. Like, I don't know when we start respecting dirt bags, man. Alrighty, Mr. Rich. Let me, man, make sure y'all tap into Mr. Rich, man. Do you be over here? Oh, shit. You know, we don't mind. Do I support Diddy? Yo, I support facts. You know what I mean? I support facts. And I ain't one of them motherfuckers that sit over this bitch and say, believe all victims. Because these motherfuckers be lying. I say believe the victims that make sense. You know what I mean? This ain't one of them believe all victims page. You that's how you think you take your ass over there. Because we keep that shit real. I believe what makes sense. Though the feds is trying to convince people that, yo, Diddy was in this relationship with this girl for 9 years. And he in front of the world, though. We watched the 9 years. But the whole time she was being sex trafficked. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Ain't no fucking way, man. Yo, we all can't be that fucking stupid. Nobody saying the signs. For 9 years, they was in the limelight. Red carpets, doing events, hosting parties. 11 years, my bad, Steven. 11 years. But the whole time, she was being sex trafficked and nobody knew. Nobody sat back and like, damn, yo, that relationship don't seem real, yo. Maybe he's sex trafficking. Like, yo, Diddy, Cassie was Diddy's favorite freak, yo. That's it. No more, nothing less. I mean, they wasn't together. That was his favorite freak. Diddy was still in love with Kim. But that was his hoe. You know what I mean? That was his little freak, you know? Now if you live in that life, you got your favorite one. I mean, you might got a few, but you got your favorite. And that's why he reacted that way when Kid Cudi got in the way. That's why he reacted that way when Michael B. Jordan got in the way. Yo, you trying to steal my freak? This bitch is doing things that you couldn't imagine. You feel me? Like, I can't let you take her from me. Man, fuck that. You know, some people get like that. Now, I'm not recommending it, you know, because a freak is a freak. I mean, it's just, but some people get like that, yo, you try to steal it. It ain't their girl. You know, but they're presented to the, it's manipulation, for one. Because they're presented to them like, yeah, we in this relationship, but in reality, you know, this is just my, you know, this is my little freak. We had a time of our life together. We only talk to her at night. You know what I mean? That's how you got the girl, if you live in that life, you got that girl you just call at night. You know what I mean? We call it, we drunk, the night winding down. You know what I mean? Man, oh shit, let me call her. She always answered. That was Cassie. Cassie was the girl that always answered, right? But she had incentive. You know? She was getting something out the deal. At least she thought. Her plan was to use Diddy to propel my singing career, but it didn't work. It was too high. Drugs got in the way. Wasn't no time for writing music. It was freak offs that she enjoyed, that she asked for. It's documented. Yeah, she was with this shit, man. She's with all the shit. Now let's get back to this guy.
Well, I believe that Cassie's husband knew all of that, and she probably confided in him. She probably was confiding in him when he was just her personal trainer. He knew some of the stuff probably that she was going through.
You know,
it's just like if you got a chick that's a porn star, you know, she's a porn star, bro. If you got a chick that's a porn star,
you
know she done been through a lot of men.
Hey, yo, where he get that term from, y'all? Yeah, I'm the first one that called her a porn star, man. Now niggas saying Cassie a porn star. Oh, man, whatever Jane did. She definitely was a porn star, though.
It's allegedly that Cassie went through a lot of men because Diddy orchestrated her to go through a lot of men. Because she didn't have this behavior prior.
She is a porn star. That's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if Diddy committed crimes, then yo, what's up with West Coast Productions? Remember West Coast Productions are they still involved in porn? What about the OnlyFans models? They should shut OnlyFans down. OnlyFans should be charged with racketeering, straight up and down. If Diddy is guilty of sex trafficking, OnlyFans need to be shut down for racketeering. Lock up the owner, like how they locked up Julian Assange for WikiLeaks. The owner of fucking what's called need to be booked because it got to be sex trafficking going on over that bitch on a large scale. But they don't do that, yo, because they only attack black men. They only trying to attack black men with these laws. You know what I mean? They don't serve their benefit. They want black men arrested for this shit. What's up, Karan? I mean, yo, it's just I don't know how you put a like how you ban sex traffic in front of the world. Typically sex traffickers don't have a voice. I mean, when you typically hear sex trafficking, they ain't got no voice. They runaways and shit. Cassie wasn't no runaway. Cassie got a family. Cassie was in the limelight. She could have been on the interview. She could have been on the red carpet and tip somebody off like, yo, Diddy, shit ain't right. Yeah, man, Diddy got me fucking hella niggas every night. That shit rhymed. I ain't even want that to rhyme. But you understand what I'm saying? She ain't do none of that.
Yeah. She even said that Diddy is the one who taught her how to do fellatios. You understand? She said that. So I'm like,
yeah, her testimony was
showed up. It's showing this girl, not with him, but with other dudes. Like,
Dave, what it
didn't come out in court yet, and they didn't get into it like that.
See my man Rob for the 10 hour.
Did he stop her and say, you're doing it wrong? And he started doing it himself and showed her how to do it? That's crazy, man. But I believe Alex knew all her transgressions. He knew all about this shit. And he accepted her, not for what she'd been through. You understand? He accepted her and he knew her heart other than all this that she had went through. You understand what I'm saying, bro?
No.
I believe he had already accepted that. But he just, to hear it and play it out in front of you in court, and this is the mofo that did it to her, yeah, he gonna look at him a certain way. And the fact that he knows that they had already told him he could not be in court when Cassie testified about certain things.
Right.
About the rape and everything like that she told him about, and that because both of them was dating them at the same time. She had stopped dating Puff and started dating Alex. And it was allegedly that Puff came over there and he raped her. And in doing that, Alex could not be in the courtroom, and they had already told him when that part come over there and they begin that line of question that the prosecutor want to let him know that he had to step outside the courtroom because he might be called in that as a witness.
None of it makes sense, y'all. None of it makes sense.
Witness to what Cassie told him about the situation.
See, but the thing is,
he was probably more upset about that than anything else. He was probably upset about that, bro. That he's gonna have to leave out the courtroom because Cassie was going to have to talk about the assault that Puff supposedly had did on her when they was no longer together.
How you feel about the people that got pushed back and they saying that why if you mad at Diddy, you should be mad at Cassie for being a freak?
Man, come on, bro. I know you're going to erase that out. I know you're not even going to say that. And I know you're saying that why the people are saying that. You understand? The people are saying, why you getting mad at Diddy because she was why you getting mad at Diddy because she was a freak? She was none of that stuff before he met her. Now, you've had girls that you dated over the years, and some of the things you bring out of them that they never did before, and they get comfortable, they start doing it for you. But not none of the shit that he did that, and for that young girl. That girl.
Like I was ready to say, y'all, none of it makes sense. What's up, Reed? None of it makes sense though, y'all. See, that's why it was so important to damage his name publicly. Because they did so much damage. They did so much damage to Diddy image publicly that it don't even matter what happens in court. As far as they can say anything, they cannot prove sex trafficking, and people still will be like, "Man, look, he guilty." And it's like, "Yo, are you paying attention to the charges? Yo, what evidence did they show of sex trafficking? What evidence did they show of force, coercion? To date, you know, we still got a couple weeks left, but they didn't show any of that. Cassie testimony showed domestic violence. At the max, it showed a domestic violence relationship. That's what it showed. It showed that they cared for each other. It showed that Diddy had some type of love for her. At least that's what he told her. It showed she loved Diddy. It showed a domestic violence relationship that was very freaky. You feel me? It was about if you can put it on a scale of 1 to 10, freaky was at a max. That shit was on 100. You know what I mean? It was some freaky shit going on in that relationship. But it didn't show no motherfucking sex trafficking. And that's the thing, Sleep. And that's what I be all, it's toxic. And I always say that. Cassie got what she wanted. Cassie wanted money. And that's why I always tell people, yo, when have we ever seen? Yo, we have never seen, to my knowledge, and I'll be 40 in October. Since I've been alive, and since I've been paying attention, from Bill Cosby to R. Kelly to Chris Brown, yo, to all of these people that had multi-million-dollar lawsuits, yo, we have never seen somebody get charged criminally after they paid the lawsuit. Yo, we have never seen that. Like that is crazy. What's the point of paying the lawsuit? What's the point of paying the lawsuit if you're going to get held criminally liable? The point of paying a lawsuit is so it don't go criminal. Yeah, it's usually the other way around. Usually they're found guilty first, and then that's when the criminal lawsuit, that's when the lawsuits start coming. Yo, we ain't never seen this. That's let you know this shit ain't right. Let you know this shit ain't right. That man paid the lawsuit and got charged for it. And people sitting back and, yo, that's fucked up. Imagine paying a lawsuit, a $20 million lawsuit, and then get charged for it criminally. Like, yo, people, see, yo, I think since it's domestic violence, it's such a sensitive topic that people is not paying attention to what's really going on, especially women. Not all women, because a lot of women over here know what's going on. But some women, they're not paying attention to what's, they just looking at it as, oh, he did this, he did that. It was mental manipulation. It was all of that. But those are civil crimes. You know what I mean? You can file a civil suit for being mentally manipulated. He's not charged with domestic violence. They charge that man with a criminal enterprise, Diddy enterprise, RICO, sex through coercion, force. Man, that man ain't do none of that shit, man. What's up, Hayes? He wasn't sex trafficking. All right, so listen. So that's all right. So Aurora Lake, you must just got here. So how long have the porn industry been doing that? You think all them porn actors or performers or whatever the fuck you want to call them that participate? You think they coming from the same state or are they meeting up in different states? Do you think they are meeting up in different states or they all in the same state? Is that not sex trafficking? By the definition that the feds is telling everybody, Diddy sex traffic Cassie by paying sex work, is that not sex trafficking? OnlyFans models, are they being sex trafficked too? And they all adults. When everybody was trying to tell y'all Diddy was fucking with kids. Y'all swear, y'all. I wish we can get all them people back that was talking, that was giving me a hard time when I was telling y'all ain't no kids. Ain't no kids in Diddy case. What you mean? Justin Bieber, Usher, the girl Ariel Mitchell said she got tapes with 3 minors. Like, yo, she fucking lying. She lying. And she getting sued for $50 million for lying. Right. They ready to start charging swingers for being for sex trafficking. That's what I'm saying, yo. Certain doors, that's why, look, Aurora ain't got nothing else to say. Certain doors are meant to be closed. You don't want the federal government Like Diddy defense team said, yo, you don't want the federal government being involved in what you doing in your bedroom, man. And they involved in enough. The federal government is involved in enough. Yo, you do not want them in your fucking bedroom deciding what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, I seen that. I was gonna play that video. We're gonna be live for a while tonight. I'm telling you, y'all, it's the same concept, y'all. I think people be forgetting who the feds are and what they. Yo, the feds don't give a fuck about the people. The feds is serving the agenda of the United States. They don't give a fuck about no people. You think they give a fuck about Cassie? Do you think the feds give 2 F's about quid pro quo? Man, fuck no. That shit been going on. That shit ain't gonna stop. It's somebody getting quid pro quo right now. You heard me? Man, they not stopping that shit, man. They're not interested in stopping. It don't serve any purpose. You know what I mean? But what they're gonna do is every now and then they're gonna grab a black man. Because you know the Abercrombie and Fitch dude case, you know, they say he not even criminally liable because he got dementia. I think they just locked him up just to, you know, to make it seem like we really trying to make a difference. They wasn't never nothing going on with him. Man, Cassie was loving that shit, man. That is not what they do. That's what they or that's what they trying to do. That's not what they do. That's what they're trying to do. And if we sit back and let them do it, then it's going to become the normal. Then they're going to be attacking everybody, and you can't trust the feds to have discernment. Not when it comes to black people. Like, I don't know if you black, but the feds is attacking black people mainly. Like, that's their focus. That's been their focus. That's what they were designed to do. The feds was designed to attack the fucking black community. You know what I mean? And that's that. They never wavered. That's been the goal from start to present. So you don't want them to start opening these doors because now a lot of people gonna fall under these categories. A lot of people gonna be going to prison for these charges that's really fabricated and made up. Right? She told you piss in her mouth. Diddy ain't tell her that. The state tried to present it. The witness had to say, hold up, but Cassie told me that. Like that order didn't come from Diddy. Trying to tell you, y'all. See, yo, what I'm saying sounds so foreign to the average person because niggas is running with the narrative and not using, you know what I mean? Not looking at the bigger picture, not being honest. Some of these people know what's going on, they just ain't being honest. Know who giving the best coverage of Diddy's situation? The girl from the Breakfast Club, Lauren LaRosa. She giving the best coverage. All these other motherfuckers is pushing the narrative. They pushing the agenda for views. You know, you get clicks when you say Diddy going to jail when Diddy done and the horrible things. Yo, Diddy did some horrible things. Like I said, he beat the shit out of her. Fucked up. You know what I mean? I don't respect nothing about that shit. But when you start talking about he's sex trafficked her, when you read them messages and you hear that, yo, she loved them bitches. She was asking for them. She was begging for them. She was organizing them. She was going to get supplies. On her own. Come on, man. She love that shit. She got a chance to fuck different guys. You know, Diddy old as shit. She was probably fucking younger guys, older guys. She was having the time of her life. Man, she was fucking with the Punisher. You know what I mean? She out this bitch fucking with the Punisher and shit. Man, Cassie was good. She love that shit.
Was young enough to be impressionable on this old head ass nigga with all this money. We could take her and show her dreams and lifestyles.
Definitely can't forget the Punisher.
So if you don't think that this mofo groomed
nasty as shit,
that baby, that 19-year-old, then bro, I'm gonna say it right here, and I might not do another Art of Dialogue show again. You understand? Because you might not like it. Something is wrong if you don't think that dude groomed that young girl. Took that impressionable young girl who wanted to be a star, who wanted.
Look at the whole, but look at what he's saying. Look what he's saying. Yo, you like, hey Reed, what you always say? Yo, you gotta want something. I'm offering. For me to quid pro quo you, you gotta want something that I have. Yo, I'm sure for every female that participated in them freak offs with Diddy, 10 probably turned it down. She could have turned it down. He had an option. Like, yo, the feds is presenting this like he's like she didn't have no choice. She didn't have an option. Yo, you had an option, man. It wasn't forced. Yo, one of the text messages, she asked Diddy about the freak off. Diddy said, "Are you sure? Are you sure this is what you want to do?" She said, "Yeah." Well, I don't know if the word she used, yeah, but she basically said, "Yeah, this is what I, yeah. Where we going? What we gotta do? Where we gotta set it up at?" Yo, like, you can't say she was groomed and he used his influence in the music industry. You know what I mean? Because she didn't have to oblige. Shit, Mr. Rogers, that freaky shit, man. I don't know what the fuck type of shit you got going on. But yo, I ain't gonna lie, that shit they were doing was freaky. Yeah, but yeah, he did groom her as far as manipulation, age-wise. But she had to wanted something that he had in order to be able to be groomed, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? She had to wanted something. She was in it for a reason. Like, but she's trying to present it like she got nothing out of the deal. You got to live the life. You know how this shit go? Some of this, some of that. You know, they do this shit to these bloggers, like they do it to everybody. Like, this is the industry of, if you're gonna participate in, if you want this level of success with our money, man, you're gonna have to do some things you might not like. You know what I mean? Now people have turned it down. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like they presented it like she didn't have an option. Like, she had options from the very beginning. Now, once shit got, you know, to that level to where they freaking out 3 times a week, you put yourself in that situation. I'm not your motherfucking father. Fuck out of here. It's fucking crazy. Y'all be tripping me out.
Wanted all her dreams that she had to come true, and fed her drugs, fed her pills, fed her alcohol, and fed her mushrooms.
Yo, he didn't force her to take no drugs, yo. You can't. He forced her to take drugs for years. Now, yo, see that? I always get back to what I tell my kids, yo. The best way, yo, he gave her drugs and she liked it. That's simple. He gave her drugs and she liked it. He didn't have to force her after that. After the first motherfucking perk, she was all in. And she took that perk, they fucked for hours. Cause you know, when you first start taking perks, them bitches, you can go for shit. You can go for hours when you first start taking them, but then once you get addicted, shit changed. But yeah, she liked the feeling. She liked what it did. It enhanced the sexual pleasure. She was an adult, yo. Like, they making it seem like she was she was young. Yeah, she was impressionable. Yeah, she was dealing with this guy. Yo, but he didn't force her to take pills. You know what I mean? Yeah, Gene Dealer, wild ass nigga. And my thing is, Gene, if that's how you feel, why you not on the stand, bro? Like, yo, get on the stand. Obviously, you want Diddy in prison. You've been championing it for the longest time. Get on the stand, bro. But he don't want to get on the stand. You don't want to participate in the legal proceedings. You want to do all this slandering on the internet, but he don't want to participate in the legal proceedings. Man, these niggas is wild, man. That shit crazy. You don't want justice for real. You just online talking. Yeah, she had all the videos. I don't even think they got videos from Diddy house. If, like, yo, for real, have they mentioned any videos that they got from Diddy house? All the videos came from Cassie. Y'all have yet to hear. Let me know, y'all. Has anybody heard of any videos they got out of Diddy house that's being presented in court?
And things that she never took before to F her mind up and then put her in a position that she thought that what little that she had,
oh, they gonna hate that song, man.
If you didn't think that he did something and did that to her, bro, I gotta say something wrong with you.
I ain't saying Diddy a saint.
I feel you.
He did a lot wrong.
I mean, it's not like I'm saying.
I just don't think he's sex trafficking. That's my whole thing.
About the people that,
like I don't want people. I just don't think Diddy's sex trafficking. He didn't sex traffic Cassie. You know what I mean? Not sex trafficking, yo. From what we know in the sex traffickers, sex traffickers be getting kidnapped. You know what I mean? They focus on runaways. They take them state to state fucking for payment. Yo, that was sex trafficking. Like, they trying to redefine the definition. Because you know why? You know why? They're not making an arrest on a federal level that they was making. So the arrest on sex trafficking went down in like 2012. We looked it up. And since 2012 up to now, it's starting to get up. But guess who the targets? 53% is black. 53% of the people that have been locked up for sex trafficking federal from 2012 to 2022, I think, or 2023, is black. Yo, they trying to redefine what sex trafficking is, man. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to redefine the definition so they can fit more black men under that law. Oh, so she was 22 when he started that.
It's giving pushback that don't believe her and getting your take on it. So,
right.
But she also testified that Diddy will always tell her to put baby oil on. Like, if he's seen her a little dry, he'll tell her to go put more baby oil on because he like to see her glistening. So
I don't know. You might care.
The shiny suit man. From the 90s, he liked everything shiny. Didn't they come out with shiny suits in the Mace? Huh? Didn't it tell you that everything in the movie had to be shiny? He liked it glistening. My man, dude is a weirdo.
Yo, but you bodyguarded for this nigga, yo. I ready to get this nigga off my screen. Like, I just can't respect these niggas. You took that man money, bro. You took that man money for years. Bodyguard made sure he was safe. Now he a weirdo. No, you a weirdo, my nigga. You a weirdo. Niggas that move like that is weirdos. Well, Diddy a weirdo too, but you a weirdo as well. So Margaret Garcos is in the court.
When I found Kajabi, all the work I had been doing for...
Let's see what the fuck he had to say.
And as we explained at the resentencing hearing is correctional officers, I always say this, there are some of the people who are greatest advocates for this. Why? Because they want people to aspire to be good, to change, to behave themselves.
We're going to move on. We got a lot of shit to talk about.
He does that so that he rewards people for taking those actions. He has done that historically. Now, the proof that I think I was right was the day after, meaning yesterday, the judge had commuted basically his own, resentenced to 50 to life. The governor then took that June 13th hearing and he converted it to a parole hearing. It is helpful. It's instructive, kind of like calling play-by-play or color for a game. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you really have to wait until all of the cross is done. I'll give you a couple of examples.
It's done. They finished cross.
So, and your takeaway?
My takeaway is that she was honest. That I think that, was she going to pull back from, leading a swinger's lifestyle? She didn't. Was she going to talk about her jealousy? She did. Was she going to talk about the fact that she went back to him repeatedly? She did. She talked about things that clearly didn't
why people
benefit
say that, yo? Nothing is a distraction, yo. We can pay attention to a lot of things. Like, yo, we can multitask as people, bro. Like, I don't think we're being distracted.
Execution and things that did. And I think when people do that, they just become generally more believable.
I agree, but remember, if there are things you get an instruction, the definition of reasonable doubt in most jurisdictions, you'll have it there. I'm sure jurors are going to be instructed. If there are two reasonable interpretations, one that points towards guilt, one that points towards innocence, they don't have to be equal. As long as they're reasonable, guess what?
I get it. So
the defense wins.
Yeah,
if that's the case. And by the way, I still think that the judge instructs jurors, and you know this better than anybody, obviously. Judge says you can't, and by the way, I think intuitively it's just totally counterintuitive. Judge will tell, and he instructs people, the jurors, the panel, everything else constantly in every trial. You can't make up your mind until you've heard all of the evidence. You can't decide. And that is so, because I've had this argument for years with other trial lawyers. Are the jurors' minds made up as soon as you select them? Are they made up, right after opening statements? I personally believe, there was, you remember Jerry Spence when Jerry was still practicing. Jerry used to forcefully argue that 90% of the jurors' minds are made up after opening statement. I take it back before that. I think the game is over in jury selection, absent some kind of aha Perry Mason moment during the trial, and absent, poor lawyering. I think once you've selected the jury,
but to be honest, this Diddy shit is important. If you're looking at it if you're looking at it how you supposed to look at it, this shit is bigger than Diddy, yo. This situation is about attacking. They ready to start attacking black men for flying females out and having sex with them. This shit it's a lot of people do that. They ain't all rappers. They ain't all entertainers. This Diddy trial is bigger than just Diddy. This is the direction that the feds is trying to take with sex trafficking. They're only going to be, I ain't going to say only, but their main targets is going to be the black community. We looked it up already. Where the fuck it? Dang, that shit ain't got that shit on my screen no more. Let me see. Nope, I ain't got it on my screen no more. Yeah, we looked it up already. They got a new direction. They trying to move with this sex trafficking shit. Yeah, but it's not about Diddy, Black Monster.
You cannot, even in a long trial, 8 weeks, you can't change somebody's prism. You can't change somebody's outlook. You're never going to convince them of something that they just come and look at the facts through. So I just say wait until you hear all the evidence. Don't make a decision yet. And although there are quite a few turns and twists and bumps between now and then, I think that you just have to wait. I think that so far, you tell me, so far, aren't you somewhat surprised about how this has unfolded?
I am surprised, and I'll kind of give you my take on this, that Please. I have seen both the prosecution and the defense try to kind of draw a completed circle in various areas, on extortion, on motivations for things, and they never close the loop. I've seen so many times on both sides, they just didn't close the loop where they made their point, and it really surprised me. I mean, there's one piece of testimony that I remember where they read text where Diddy said to Cassie, "Do you want to do a freak off?" Her answer was, "I'm ovulating," and that means no intercourse, clearly. And then Diddy says, "Well, can we kiss?" And she said, "Yes." So they do a freak off, and it lasts more than 10 hours. But nobody says, what happened during the freak off? Did they have intercourse? Was this a ruse to get her in? Nobody knows. And those loops were not closed throughout. But the thing I want to ask you about that.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah,
because
for sure.
I think the reason, and to some degree, it's just because of the way your mind is trained. You want to get there. You want to get to an answer. You want to. I think that a lot of times lawyers, and somebody who used to work for you a zillion years ago, a reporter, once told me this.
I just told you why
said, they had watched me do a cross-examination. You said it's like a cat with a ball or a mouse, or kind of just flipping around. You never close it.
Then it's the other angle. Then it's the other angle of, Diddy is not on trial because of Cassie and freak offs and the shit that Diddy is on trial because Diddy challenged the system. That's really why I be fighting against what's going on, because Diddy tried to attack the system because the system did him wrong and they came down on him. Yeah, man. That's why Diddy is on trial. It ain't on trial because no fucking freak off. The federal government was used because of that fucking liquor company. And that just shows you that, there's people over top of government officials. There's people that can make government officials move. That's why a lot of these motherfuckers take payment. They get paid to push interests of other people that sometimes is against the people that they're supposed to be protecting, because the federal government are supposed to be workers of the people. But that's not how they moving. They especially when it comes down to the black community, they ain't never been in the best interest of the black community. You know what I mean? Yeah, he did. Diddy did some fucked up things. Look past that when the beef is against the system. You know what I mean? I could look past all of that. When it's a black man against the system, I'm going to go to the black man. That's just what it is. And woman. The system is taking Diddy down because Diddy bucked. Diddy had a deal with the liquor company, and the liquor company reneged. They ain't just reneged. They tried. He turned Ciroc into a multi-billion-dollar company, and the only thing he wanted on the back end was his own liquor brand. So they gave him De Leon and ain't put no money behind it, ain't put no push behind it, ain't put no ad. Like they just did him dirty. So once he figured out that they was doing him dirty, because he sent his people to Mexico, and he found out that they didn't even have no guava planted, like they had no rum for growth. Like they was sabotaging some shit that they promised that they was gonna give him, because he took Ciroc where the fuck he wanted it to go, where he wanted it to be. And now Diddy's on trial for a lawsuit that he paid. That's bogus, man. That's bogus. Anytime a black man tries to go against the system, this is what they do. And the sad part about it is black people promote it. You know what I mean? Like, if we promote, and that's the shit that be pissing me off when it comes down to black people. We promote it. We allow them to trick us with the crack epidemic. We allow them to trick us with the mass incarceration. Like, if we just allow media manipulation to trick us into things that's not in the best interest. And we doing it again with the Diddy situation. We doing it again. It's like if we don't learn from the mistakes of the past. Then what you call that? If he got out of pocket, isn't that going against? If you jump out of pocket, you're not in line with the agenda, right? So which means you're going against the grain. Ain't that what that means? You can't be out of pocket and still be going with the grain. You can't. They definitely tricked us into one against the rat. I just was watching Straight Outta Compton, and I seen how black people was voting for Gangsta Rap, how we was fighting for that shit, and look at the results of it. Look at what they transitioned it to.
At the time, part of the reason for that is it's always drilled into you. Never ask a question that you don't know the answer to, or think that you boxed the witness in so that they have to answer it. And I think that there is an element of that in every trial. I know a lot of times, if I think that the points that are being made are susceptible, once again, to the two reasonable interpretations, if I think that my opponent, if it's a criminal case as a prosecutor, is not going to ask that question at all, to your point, that closes the loop, I'm not going to do it. And you know why? I'm going to circle back to that in the closing statement, and I'm going to say, they could have asked. They could have said, they could have had the witness answer the question. They didn't. You know why? Because they too have reasonable doubt as to what the answer is. And that gives you, ladies and gentlemen, the reasonable doubt.
Well, sometimes it's self-inflicted, because there was one instance where the prosecution was asking Cassie about an incident in Cannes where Diddy suspected her of stealing drugs from him, and of her stealing drugs from him, threatened to release freak-off videos, and then they flew back to LA, and they were sitting next to each other. He showed her the freak-off videos and then threatened to release them. And then she says, well, then the next day we went to dinner, and and during dinner he said, you want to have a freak-off? And she said yes, and the prosecutor said, well, why?
So tell me, Stephanie, why Popular Pays?
Prior to working with Popular Pays, we never, ever got responses from influencers.
Yeah, I can't say that. Like, I'm not vouching for Diddy as a person. You know what I mean? I ain't vouching for Diddy as a person. Diddy was a horrible person. But if they're using Diddy as a poster child for sex trafficking, that a lot of black men is gonna fall under this category. That's the bigger issue, y'all. Fuck all that other shit. All that other shit don't matter when you're looking at the bigger picture. None of that matters, yo, when you're looking at the bigger picture. The reason I don't fuck with, the reason I'm against, I don't give a fuck what's going on in Shannon Sharpe, because Shannon Sharpe isn't being taken down by the system that he helped propel. You know what I mean? Shannon Sharpe was being taken down because he was a fucking dumbass fucking with a young ass white girl that tricked him out of his position. Yeah, but he's not charged with domestic violence. Did he not charge domestic violence? All right, so let's switch since people want. Let's talk about something real. Inmates captured. Let's talk about this shit. Cause I don't trust this. I think this is a bunch of bullshit right here. I think this is a bunch of bullshit, y'all. You got
urgent manhunt this morning following a
yo, when of the last time we seen something like this? 10 inmates escaped from New Orleans jail. What's up, Lee? A New Orleans jail in America. We ain't talking about no pre-release. We ain't talking about no camp. We talking about a jail. Tight as jails are. And then when you find out, no, they changed it to 10. Then when you find out that how they escaped, This is a bunch of bullshit, y'all. Then when you listen to the officials in New Orleans talk about this jail and the lack of funding, man, just watch this shit.
Mass escape from a New Orleans jail. Authorities say 10 men got out. At least 3 have already been recaptured. ABC's Maria Villarreal joins us with the very latest on the search. Good morning to you, Maria.
Hey, good morning, Janae. Local schools and universities, they are on high alert. They are stepping up security on campus.
Look,
and a graduation.
This the play. Yo, the play is funded. Yo, I guarantee, but they'll never do this. For the 10 people that escaped, right? I bet one of them motherfuckers working with the police. If motherfuckers can really dig into these escapees, I guarantee one of them motherfuckers is working with the police, FBI or something, informant, something. And that's the guy that conjured up this idea. Because how did this happen? How did they know where the exit point? Yo, them jails, man, them jails be tight as a motherfucker, man. You hardly even get out. Like, we talking about jail. We ain't talking about prison when you go out every day. A lot of these jails, you don't even get outside. You on the tear. So they had to have a map of the jail to know that, yo, we can get through this. Nah, get the fuck out of here, man. This was a play.
Ceremony is expected to happen over the weekend. As of now, this jail escape, it happened in the heart of New Orleans. 7 dangerous criminals still on the run, leaving the community on edge. This morning, new images and details emerging from inside that New Orleans jail, where
shit.
10 inmates dug their way out. Surveillance video showing 2 of the men rigorously pulling on a cell door
Yeah, we
that
talking about
police
10
say
people though,
leads
bro.
outside, then watches all 10 quickly run out of the building through a loading dock door and onto the interstate.
We think this was intentional. There is much more than meets the eye.
Authorities say the group took advantage of defective locks on their usual cells.
Let's count. How many people really was it? Let's see. Let's count the people. It could be lying to us.
Then watches
1,
all 10
2, 3, 4,
quickly run out of the
5, 6, 7,
building through a
8, 9. It looked like somebody was over there that we missed.
loading dock door and onto the
It was 10 of them.
interstate.
It was
We
10
think
of
this
them.
was intentional. There is much more than meets the eye.
Authorities say the group took advantage of defective locks on their usual cells and making
You hear the words that they're using? Defective locks. Defective. I'm telling you, yo, this is a play to gain funding. Because what's going to happen now is, right? Let me tell you what's going to happen next. This is going to be in the next Congress meeting. This is going to be in the next bill. And the people's going to vote for it. Because who wants 10 inmates, 10 violent criminals running the streets? Come on, yo, it's a play. Yo, but this is what I be talking about when I was talking about media. Yo, I don't think media ever been, I ain't gonna say real. I think it was always conjured up. When you go back and you look at what they did with the crack epidemic, you know, we watched the videos. We watched what they did with HIV. All of this shit was conjured up. What you want to call it? It was doctrine. You know what I mean? It was some shit that it was an agenda. This is a play for funding. I bet they get the money they want now. I bet you they get the money they want now. After this, I'm going to go back to the video we watched last night. And I want you to listen to the lady. Defective locks. So they probably been asking for funding for years and not getting it. This is the only way we can do it. We got to create a situation. We got to create a situation where inmates, look how they even get through this fucking hole. We got to create a situation where inmates escape. That is the only way we're going to convince the public that, yo, we need to do something with this jail. We need money. And they're going to get that money. And they're going to build they probably build a whole nother section. State of the art. And another, they might make the jail bigger so they can fit more inmates.
their way here, removing a bolted toilet from the wall to create their escape.
All of this has been removed and these have been clean cut. We have reason to believe that there was some assistance with this.
Scrawled on the wall above,
they remove shit from the outside. Look. This how it look. Yeah, we gotta go back to the press conference. We're gonna go back to the press conference after this.
There was some assistance with this.
Scrawled on the wall above, "We innocent" and "too easy," with an arrow toward the hole where they escaped, out of view of the officer on duty. Authorities say they broke out around 1 a.m. early Friday morning, but officers didn't realize what happened until an official head count took place at 8:30, more than 7 hours later. Police say at the time of the incident, there were no deputies at that unit, and the assigned technician had stepped away to get food.
We know that they had help. We're showing you they had help. This was coordinated.
So far, 3 of the 10 escapees found hours later, 1 hiding beneath a car at a hotel in the French Quarter, and now a multi-agency manhunt intensifying for 7 more suspects, some facing murder charges, all considered armed and dangerous.
It is a disaster of epic proportions that I haven't seen, and there will certainly be an inquiry into any and everyone who played any role in helping these individuals get out of the jail. Everyone is going to be charged. Yeah, right.
Come on, that doesn't even make sense, bro. 7 hours.
As of right now,
counting like a bitch.
Have been placed on
they count probably every
suspension, but we
7
do know
hours.
more than 200 men and women are aiding in this manhunt as it intensifies, including the
You
U.S.
can't
Marshals.
tell. You work that till every day or often. You can't tell it's 7 people missing. That's a lot of people missing, man. How many people on the tier? How many people on the LeVar? You from New Orleans, ain't you? How many people on the tier? Yo, did they even mention the jail? Yo, did they even mention the jail? What jail was this? New Orleans just got one jail. Was that New Orleans City Jail? So let's go to the press conference. I want y'all to listen to this lady.
Great content needs a great audience. Like Stretch Armstrong needs to be stretched. Yeah!
All right, in the meantime, here we are going out now live to New Orleans with an update on these now 9 escaped inmates.
Right here.
The witnesses who testified against him. I deal with the jails now for a long period of time. So if he's been recently sentenced, that's great. He would have been on our list. He may be aware of that. He would be on our list to go to the Department of Correction. But the Department of Correction and Public Safety have worked with us to move several inmates that have been sentenced. They come twice a week. I just got off the phone when I stepped out here then with the Department of Correction to identify how many individuals we have that have been sentenced, that are taking up space, that are high security people.
Look, listen to him. This is a plea for funding. Similar to like when the Baltimore Bridge got hit by a fucking what kind of boat that was? A cargo boat. You know what I mean? This bridge has been there since the beginning of fucking time. All these ships that went under this bridge. Now all of a sudden that bitch get hit by a cargo boat in the middle of the bridge. Knock the bridge down. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Yo, shit don't happen like that in real life, man. Ain't no such thing as a perfect storm. That bitch was created.
Be aware of that. He will be on our list to go to the Department of Correction. But the Department of Correction and Public Safety have worked with us to move several inmates that have been sentenced. They come twice a week. I just got off the phone when I stepped out here then with the Department of Correction to identify how many individuals we have that have been sentenced, that are taking up space, that are high security people, that have long sentences, and they all are violent.
It was in Baltimore.
We're talking about the difference in that case.
Look at this guy. Listen to how this guy is. Like he was like, oh, let's go back. We gotta go back some more. Listen to how this guy grilled them. Like who the fuck brought him there? Like why is he so concerned? Like yo, none of this shit makes sense. Hold up, let's get to this guy right. We're gonna start. gonna start right here.
Major Phipps, but we're looking at all angles.
What does it say? And I mean this respectfully, but you said, and I'm going to quote you here, that you observed those guys running out at 1 o'clock in the morning. What does it say for jailhouse safety and security when you see a jailbreak like that, but you fail to notify anyone, NOPD, the public, anyone?
We didn't say that.
Right. It's like he got a personal interest in it. Like I ain't never seen no reporter grill no like yo. Just pay attention, y'all. Media ain't right, y'all. It ain't what we think. It ain't what we thought it was.
Yeah, we observed on the video later this morning. We had to pull that video.
You said you observed at 1 a.m.
So let's be clear. I said what we observed on the video through the investigation. So yes, when they looked at the
know what they would typically do in this situation with a hostile journalist? Avoid them, get them removed. No, they engaged with you the whole time. The whole time.
After the staff realized they were gone, my investigators found that at 1 a.m. that's what happened.
So no one was watching live video all night at the jail?
I won't say no one was watching live video, but there are over 900 cameras.
How did nobody see them leaving the jail?
There are over 900ed cameras in this facility.
How did no one see a massive jailbreak?
How is part of the investigation. So we have interviewed, I think, all of our employees, and we are interviewing all of the residents of that particular pod as well. And then there's a lot of people that you've got to wade through their interviews to find out, to get down to the details of what happened. There was somebody on duty.
Sheriff, the source told us that phone calls haven't been monitored over the past week, and escaped inmates were planning how they were going to get out through phone calls. Were y'all monitoring phone calls?
We monitor phone calls all the time. There are 1,400 people in this jail over the city.
So how did only 10 people leave? Why didn't the whole tier run out? Well, at least, shit, how many people on the tier? If it's 150 people on that tier, only 10 left? You would have thought at least would have been 25, 30. A lot of niggas. And you talking about in pre-sentence, when you fighting the case. Man, niggas trying to fuck out of there. We ain't talking about niggas that got time. We talking niggas that's fighting. They still got life in prison looming. Motherfucker go take them chances even if it's for a couple hours.
Council 1250 limit. So can you monitor every single person every day? No, we don't have the bodies to do that.
Look,
but we do monitor, and we rely on tips, and we have an intelligence unit that...
we don't have the bodies to do that. This is all about funding, y'all. This whole thing is about funding. I bet you, Elivar, let me know. I bet you they're going to either build a new prison, or they're gonna make some serious, new jail, or gonna make some serious upgrades. Cause they're gonna get the money they're looking for. This is the only way they think they can get it. We gotta stage a play. Governor probably in on it. Because the people are the ones that okays the funding. So you gotta get the people to realize this is a real problem. Then they vote on it. That's the play.
Monitors what's going on in the jail. There's a lot of things at any given time going on.
But it's your job. It's your job to monitor every single person in this facility every day.
Visually, with our deputies on the pods. Yes.
I did have a question. The former sheriff, Marlon Gusman, he disputes the claims that there were a lot of issues here at the facility after he left. Do you stand by your statement about the issues with it? And also we learned that you have a $14 million fund balance. Why wasn't that money used to repair the lots? If you could talk about that.
Can I speak I can speak more intelligently, I believe, to the physical plan in the jail. Not necessarily design, but at some point this jail was planned, and it was obviously planned to be a minimum custody facility. I don't know what the dynamics of the population was in New Orleans as far as those incarcerated around that time, but that is not the dynamic now.
So they probably haven't made upgrades. They probably haven't made upgrades to that jail since the 80s.
Pods. And the pods are populated with high security inmates. Those are people that are predatory, assaultive, violent, and aggressive. So we were in the process now of developing an ad unit because we identified a large number of.
What year was New Orleans jail built? Let's find out. What year was New Orleans jail built?
1837. According to Wikipedia.org, Orleans Parish Prison is the city jail for New Orleans, Louisiana. First opened in 1837, it is operated by the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Office. So most of the prisoners, 300 of the 1,500 or so as of June 2016, are awaiting trial. 4.
1,300 to 1,500 inmates as of June 16th. One of the 10 worst prisons in the United States based on reporting. It opened in 1837. Dark cells. The prison closed in 1895. And in 1931, the prison and court function were relocated to a new facility in Tulane. 1967. It's banned in 2005. So it got refurbished in 2005 after Hurricane Katrina. Yeah, so yeah, they need open back up in 2015. So that was 10 years ago. The sheriff's office plans to build an additional 750-bed facility. See, that's what they're pushing for. The Orleans Parish Prison Reform Coalition opposes the plan. Look, what I tell y'all. All you gotta do is look it up. All you gotta do is look it up, man. The information is right there. It's right there. Calling on former Democratic Mayor Mitch, whatever, off to oppose the expansion of the jail and instead support retrofitting of the current jail for better care for incarcerated special population. Was centered on opposition to the Phase 2 planned jail expansion. Oh, look, in 2023, a federal judge ordered the city to begin construction. So what happened? They must still ain't get the funding. So this is they approved the bill, but they ain't get the funding. So look, we gotta do what we gotta do. we gotta do what we gotta do, y'all. This is the only way we gonna get the funding. I bet you they get it now. I guarantee they get it now.
Individuals that needed to be on some type of restrictive housing environment that did not exist at this facility. So it's plenty of deficiencies when we start to talk about the physical plan. So it's not correct to say that those things didn't exist because, I mean, they're prevalent.
This will be
Baltimore City jail.
So you say it's not built for that.
Listen to this nigga.
You gotta think about it.
Listen to this nigga. Who is he? Who the fuck is he, man? This nigga is acting like he's furious. You would have thought that one of these guys got released, killed his family member, and now his family is scared because he got to face retaliation. They might come back and kill him. Definitely.
You got to think about, the sheriff says that all the time. She talks about the 83% recidivism rate. So you got people in and out of here all the time. So they've been here and know the place. No, I say when you start talking, I say it was built, had to be built for a minimum. So you started talking about locks. I don't know of a max security inmate. Right now they had an objective classification system in place. I don't know if that was in place to identify properly if there were max security. It may have been everybody clumped together. We know now, based on our objective criteria, that we do have people that are classified at a higher security level than what this particular facility was built for.
Yeah, talking about failures in the pods, is there a maintenance and service contract at this time in place? Is there a maintenance and service contract in place? We're talking about failures within the pod. Once again, is there a maintenance and service contract in place? Travis gets asked multiple questions. We're asking another question.
I really can't
Is
hear
there a
you loud,
maintenance and
buddy.
service contract in place with the pod?
Look, why he ain't want to answer him? Is there a service contract in place? He ain't answer him, though. He told he was loud, but Travis was loud as a bitch.
And he was in among these 10, right? Were they in separate cells? Everyone is in, everyone here is two to a cell, and that's what we have. And we've been in constant communication with anybody that's been convicted with the Department of Corrections to come and pick up those individuals that have been convicted. We have 78 individuals right now. We've been in communication with the Department of Corrections, and they're assured us that they're going to come and get these individuals. I'm not familiar with Derrick Rose if he's been sentenced. I know he's been here for a long period of time. So if he's been recently sentenced, that's great. He would have been on our list. He may be aware of that. He'll be on our list to go to the Department of Corrections. But they have, the Department of Corrections and Public Safety have worked with us to move several inmates that have been sentenced. They come twice a week. I just got off the phone when I stepped out here then with the Department of Corrections to identify how many individuals we have that have been sentenced, that are taking up space, that are high security people, that have long sentences, and they all are violent.
And we're talking about the difference in that case.
Is there something being done to protect the witnesses who testified against him?
Look.
So there'll be someone.
Look. I just talked about that.
Talking about the pods and the deteriorating conditions, is there a maintenance and service contract in place to make repairs? And we're also hearing that critical cameras were down for weeks. We have, this is our CFO, Bianca Brown.
Now listen to her. This is how they told on themselves. All she talks about is money, funding, and money.
More about that. Hi, so I'm
and look like she have coat.
So based upon the question that you asked earlier about the fund balance related to the 2023 audit, I'll give you a breakdown of that. 4.2 million.
Oh, hold up. That's what we just talked about. So they did get the funding in 2023, but it's not enough. It wasn't enough. So, okay, now it make even more sense. So it was hard to go back and say we need more money. So we got to pull a play. We just got money in 2023. So we can't go back in 2025 and say we need more unless we get a prison break.
To accounts payable, 9.5 million was related to FEMA restricted cash, but capital projects only. The seizure and restricted cash had about 98,000 in it. Due to others, which was processing fees, DAPs, clerk of courts, NOPD property room, they got about 97,000 of that money. We had due to the Department of Public Safety for civilian backgrounds that we conduct. That was about 400,000. And then we also had a detail account that's kind of restricted for radios, video cameras, tactical gear, software, and maintenance for the deputies that they pay based upon their details. So that doesn't exist. That's failed. That money doesn't exist. That was from a 2023 audit that they're reporting on, and those funds don't exist. As of today,
so they never got the money.
Balance is about 6.3 million that is still due out as of 2025.
They never got the money. My bad, y'all. Got ashes on my fucking computer. So now I got backtracked. So they never got the money. So this is the play to get the money. However you look at it, it's a play to get the money. Like that's what this is, y'all. I bet we'll see it again until they need some more money from another city. Yo, 10 people escaping out of a jail is unheard of, man. Unheard of, man. In America. That's some shit you hear about in fucking Afghanistan or something. Them jails be tight as a bitch. People know if you been in jail, man, they be tight as a motherfucker. Man, people be copping out just to go to prison. Because jail's so fucking tight. Especially if you're a high security inmate. Yeah, when I was up Towson Red Jumper 3D, yo, they didn't even give us rec. We damn near never had rec. They took our rec, man.
So if we could answer my question, we asked a question, nobody answered. Once again, we asked multiple times, is there a maintenance and service contract in place to take care of the deteriorating conditions within the pods and within the jail?
We can't afford a maintenance and service contract.
That are not working.
So right now, we can't afford a maintenance service contract. We have maintenance staff that are on board that do the day-to-day. But right now, our current budget sits at about $68 million. $41.1 million comes from the city, $13 million comes from the village, and about $10.1 million a quarter is given to us. Right now, our payroll is about 9.6. Our food expenses is $780,000 a quarter. That eats up the money. We don't have the funding available to have a full maintenance contract to do this. We've explained this on multiple occasions. Just on Monday, we went to the City Planning Commission and we reported this out. We asked for the money to secure this.
Oh, look.
So the funding...
Told on themselves again on Monday. They got denied the money again. All right. Y'all want to keep denying us the money? Watch what we do.
It is not available to do what needs to be done, and it hasn't been done.
Not appropriate enough to handle violent offenders like the ones that escaped today. Have y'all considered potentially shipping them elsewhere?
We can't afford it.
Your budget is bigger than Martin Gusman's was. Do you all realize that? That the last sheriff had a smaller budget than you have.
The budget was bigger, but guess what? Things are being deprived. So what you're seeing is a result of what's happening now. Broken doors. You got facilities, wear and tear. All of that is occurring now due to that budget. This size facility, they should have a $150 million budget easily. The budget that we have, it doesn't support what we need. I've laid out the numbers. You see, it's critical.
If I could speak to when you say that we
explored
shipping, outboarding individuals. Yes, we have.
She slipped them off like 8 ball before she came to that bitch.
High security people to various places. Department of Corrections and Public Safety has helped us with that. We've sent people to Plaquemine. We've sent people to Catahoula. We've sent people to Madison. We've sent people to Angola. 30%, almost 40% of those individuals we send get remanded back for various reasons. So that takes up space. And the ones we sent to Catahoula, this is important. The ones we sent to Madison and the ones we sent to Plaquemine, all of these are parole violators. So these people are convicted felons that committed a crime here in New Orleans as either a pass-through, having fun, or whatever they were doing, and they ended up in the jail.
And look, circling back, what are you specifically doing?
I ain't never in my life seen them allow a reporter ask that many motherfucking questions. Shit. Was it just a question to answer for him? Because that man asked 5 questions. It's probably 13 different news sources in that bitch. Yeah, she definitely. You can tell she definitely from New Orleans.
What do you mean?
What is the sheriff's office doing right now to capture these violators?
The sheriff's office is working along with the 200 partner offices that I mentioned earlier at actually capturing these individuals. We're providing critical intel. So we are combing through those phone calls and other messages you mentioned earlier to identify who they communicated with, where they could potentially be. So along with our partners, we are visiting those locations in search of those individuals.
Specifically, Derek Rose, what are you doing to
recorded as well? Video calls and iPads?
I can't answer whether those are recorded. I know the phone calls are recorded. I don't want to say yes or no on the video call.
Specifically, Derek Rose, what are y'all doing to capture
him? Just said yes, they are recorded.
Murder.
All right, you have one more question? Okay. Go ahead. Tabone, you haven't had one.
The surveillance that we saw that they were wearing their orange jumpsuits, but you said when they got into the neighborhood, they shed their clothes. Was someone there waiting to give them a change of clothes? Did they have clothes as contraband underneath their jumpsuits?
So right now, we can't say we haven't seen all of the video to say that from the neighborhood on whether they had additional clothing, but what we knew is they shed some of their orange.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
CMT is a civilian position, right? Should maximum security inmates be watched by a civilian CMT? And if you could talk a little bit more, I know you said that they were on a break. Could you give us some more specifics on that?
Sure. So, yes, the CMT is a corrections monitoring technician. She is a civilian. She sits in a pod module and observes the pod. That is primarily when we do not have the physical deputy staff to sit on the pod. We have a vacancy rate like every other correctional agency in the country. Every corrections has a 55% vacancy rate across this country. Like us, we are underfunded, understaffed, underpaid. So we do our best to hire staff and retain them, but like everyone else, we're short. So yes, this civilian was assigned to the pod module to observe the pod. When she stepped away to grab food, that is when they began their attempts to escape. By the time she returned, they were already into the cell or gone. So she did not even know that they had made good on their escape or made an attempt to escape.
Sheriff, you want to say,
I don't have that time in front of me.
people, I think everybody's
They don't even typically allow that. Like, yo, they just making it sound like this is a breach in security. We ain't got the manpower. The jail was ran down. Look, we need the money. We tried to get the money Monday. They turned us down. We ran the play. That's all this is, man. That's all this is. Some dirty shit. Dirty motherfuckers. What the fuck is this? Dirty. But we gonna see what happens. Somebody gonna take the fall. Somebody gonna take the blame. It crashed in Brooklyn. They can get under there. The fuck? That was stupid. They ain't know that shit was wasn't high enough. That's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. That was stupid as a motherfucker. I don't understand how that even happens. Alright, so let's see what the fuck going on Instagram. I want to talk about Antonio Brown. Man, salute the Flow Rider, man.
I just want to say God is good in Jesus' name. I want to thank the jury, Judge Haynes, my attorneys, Kelly Gustall. I just want to say God is good in Jesus' name.
So he won an $82 million lawsuit against the company for breaching his endorsement deal. That's good money. He might come after him next. Did y'all see this? So Jason Lee supposed to have a conversation with Tory in the inbox. Let's know what Tory said, man. Yo, goddamn, Tory Lanez gonna have a huge lawsuit whenever he get out of jail, if they ever let him out. You know, them people don't like to admit they made a mistake. He might gotta do his whole bit before he actually gets some type of reparation for what they did to him. Listen to what Jason Lee said.
DM me some time ago. I never like to put receipts out, but let me go ahead and just pull it
Man,
out.
free him.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what Tory said.
Yeah, that's what they did to Shay. They let him go on purpose.
Tory Lanez. Let me go back to the pre-stabbing dates. Hold on.
Oh, God.
Tory Lanez. Okay. In the text message between Tory and I said, yo. He said, what's good? I said, how you surviving that bullshit? Wish we could have sat down before you left. Because you know me and him hung out with Madonna when they were messing around. Don't believe me? Take a look at this photo. I said, you have a number. He said, what's yours?
Madonna is still freaking off.
We
God dang.
to the text messages.
That was freaking off since the 80s.
Then we started to text message each other.
That's why when Cassie got it.
I said, how are you? How you been? He said, incredible, in very high spirits and preparing to physically come home this year. I said, when? I need to get I need to come in there and get an interview, LOL. He said, I can't say exact days, but I know I'll be home this year. I said, how long you been gone? I'm so confused by your case. He said, actually, I have a crazy plan when I get back that I think you should know and be a part of, because I'm only going to do one interview. And he said he's been gone 2.5 years. I said, I want to be a part of that plan. He said, it's honestly a bunch of suppressed evidence that was kept away from me during trial. I said, Wack told me that, but didn't say what. He said, like, through trial, they keep saying it was inconclusive on the gun DNA, but I always knew I never touched the gun, so I asked my lawyer to retest it, and sure enough, I was 102% excluded completely from everything, just like I said. I said, well, why didn't you just say who did it? Fuck doing time for something you ain't do. He said, I took the rap for Cassie, never wanted her to go to jail, and I never wanted Megan to get hurt or anything, so in me stopping her from getting shot, I got the raw deal. Works, and to think they made me the poster boy for the unprotection of black women, when in all honesty I protected 2 black women, one from getting shot and one from going to jail. Never said nothing in 8 to 10 years for them to live. It's a crazy place we live in. I said, but why you ain't just say that, nigga? When I got shot, I told. And he said, I lost my mother at 11 years old. I couldn't sleep with myself. I was the reason for taking a mother away from her kid. I just couldn't do it.
I believe it. I believe it. I think that's exactly what happened. It's fucked up though, yo. This system doesn't like recognizing they made mistakes. You know what I mean? So it's possible, yo, he gonna have to do that 10 years before he actually get back in court, and then they vindicate him, and then he sue him, and you understand what I'm saying? It might be longer than 10 years. But I think what happened, yo. The evidence says that's what happened. You know what I mean? The evidence says that's what happened, man. Nah, yo, he ain't do it, Trapper. He ain't shoot that lady, yo. He ain't shoot that lady. He ain't do that. Kelsey did it. He just took the rat. Took the rat. You know what I mean? Shit crazy. What's up, Robin? Don't do it, Eugene. Yeah, we'll get a whack here. So look, y'all. They say Diddy paying for people to wear free Diddy shirts.
Why do you feel that way?
Look, Sean G, you know he always in the mix.
Protesters, you can get $20 an hour if you wear a T-shirt.
You guys speak up.
She just got recruited, right? I refuse. You said no. It wasn't worth the 20.
Oh, all right, okay. Yeah, that's true.
But like he told me that it's for a Diddy.
That's definitely true. I agree with that.
I'm not really sure.
Definitely agree with that. You took the rap. Ain't no time to cry about it now. You ain't lying. That's a fact.
That is, yeah, they just tried to pay me $20 to wear a free fucking shirt.
Stop. I could tell because
the lady right there, she just kept convincing me to go wear a shirt, and I'm like, I'm
so just $20. If you guys need $20, all you have to do is wear a free puff shirt.
I think that bitch weird. That bitch.
Yeah, I said no.
Did they say how many hours?
$20 an hour. And she told me she got paid like $60 yesterday for standing out there in 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
If you're in New York, you need a couple dollars. Shit, it's better than doing DoorDash and Uber. Go down there and get you one of them free Diddy shirts. Sit up that bitch for 4 or 5 hours. Get yourself $80 to $100. Easy money.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
Easy money, man. Yo, I wanted to talk about that. Yo, so did y'all know that the name of NBA YoungBoy tour is called Massa? The Massa tour. Anybody got a problem with that? Like, people cool with that name? People cool with NBA YoungBoy naming this tour Massa? Maybe I'm tripping. I just wanted to show that. There's going to be a lot of young niggas crashing out. There's going to be a lot of violence.
In Baltimore, I'm not the oldest kid, but I just got a fucking call. This NBA YoungBoy tour exceeding all fucking expectations.
No, he ain't
we knew
snitch.
this shit was gonna go fucking crazy. We knew this shit was gonna sell out fucking crazy.
Make a leg slide
I just
again.
got a call. The so far is 27 dates. Average capacity is 15,000. That's like 400,000 tickets that we have to sell. I just got the fucking call that we have over 1 million fans that have signed up for this pre-sale. They've signed up for this pre-sale. And that means that when this pre-sale goes live, so if there's 400,000 tickets possible to sell, and the pre-sale has $1 million signed up, that means you better sign up for the pre-sale. You're fucked.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's a wild name. I told y'all who NBA Youngboy is and what they made him. NBA Youngboy had a lot of influence, man. He is basically like Massa to the youth, to the young generation. Yo, we ain't never seen, well, depending on your age. Yo, I said this before, and people gave me pushback. Yo, but NBA Youngboy had the same influence of like a Michael Jackson in the 80s. Like, yo, it was so many NBA Youngboy impersonators. So many people wanted to look like him, talk like him, dress like him, be like him. That's why the feds grabbed him. That's why the feds grabbed him. And now he's finally free after being on the box and being under some type of restriction since 2019. And he come out with a tour called Massa. It's a little strange, man. Just wanted to highlight that. You know, people can take that information how they want to take it. I just think it's a little, that's a wild name. But I think it fits. I think the name fits. Now look at this guy. I don't like nothing about this guy, y'all.
Well, what about...
Where did he come from, y'all? Man, they trying to, it's not even just cut like him. They trying to be like him and everything. I got a nephew that talked just like him. Like he sounded like you would thought he was NBA Youngboy if he called you on the phone. But this nigga right here, yo, I'm about sick of his ass. Yo, this is the #1 or 2, depending if you want either him or Charleston White, pusher of ignorance on the internet. Yeah, hell yeah. You already know you, man. But they don't like when you say it. Motherfuckers get mad. Look at this nigga, y'all. Like, yo. Just look at this nigga.
Yeah, I'm experienced. She's from St. Louis, right?
Oh, yeah. Sexy Red. Sexy, we talk about Sexy Red.
Did you know her?
Yeah, I know Sexy Red for sure. Yeah, Sexy Red really a blood from St. Louis. She was the first, like, rapper in St. Louis to go down there with Dirk now. Not Dirk now, Duck now.
I ain't know
she did hang out with Duck.
Yeah,
right.
Look at the bigger picture.
Louis,
This nigga's a fucking bozo.
30s.
Like, yo, this is shit that be crazy. This nigga's a bozo. Look at this nigga. Look at him. Like, yo, this is clownery. Right. That's what they do. That's how they trick. It's the Charleston White. It's the Charleston White play. You push ignorance, but every now and then you say something that people can relate to. That's the play. That way you keep people in limbo. That way when you rage up off the edge, you rage up off of him. You be like, oh no, he back. He said some real shit. Nah, bro, this man pushing ignorance. Look at him. He's a fucking clown.
Anything. But she real as hell. Like, she's exactly who she is when you see it on the screen. And I know her personally, right? Everybody from St. Louis, we kind of like do that. But it's kind of like a contest, right? So when we both like this, we good. But if she go up, I can't speak to her. Then if I go up, she can't speak to me. So we kind of like not speaking right now. But when we get on the same level, we'll speak again.
Did you guys have a fallout?
I don't have a fallout. We from St. Louis, gang. Like, if you get bigger than me, then I can't talk to you for right now.
How'd you meet her?
Come on, how I meet. Like, everybody meet in St. Louis, gang. I'm probably on a drill.
Probably on a drill. Look at him, yo. Look at him. What is he doing?
I'm probably going to pipe by her gonorrhea.
Like, yo, we don't act like this, yo. See, yo, the problem is people don't understand is, yo, these guys, regardless of however you want to look at them, these are fucking representations of black people. That's what they're used for. So when people see these guys, they see me. They see you. Even though we ain't nothing like this. We'd never get on no platform and do no goofball shit like this. Like, look at his facial expression. Like, what is he doing? Like having an orgasm on fucking in an interview.
I mean, not like real gonorrhea. She had like lipstick called gonorrhea. So I probably wouldn't have got some of that from her. But I ain't say I got gonorrhea from Sexy Red. I just got the lipstick. But I ain't buy it for me.
What is he doing?
Sexy Red. Yeah. You like Sexy Red? You want to?
I don't think Sexy Red is my type.
Will you it up?
I don't think so.
Come on, gang. Stop playing with me. You must don't like. You don't like good.
I don't know. How do you know it's good?
Because she said it. She said it. She said all the time. Says it's good.
All women say that.
No, but not
all
like Sexy Red. No. Who got rich for having good? She got rich for having good. Or you get millions. What bitch don't get millions for having good? Adam got rich off his wife. She got rich for having her own without giving it out. Who don't get rich off with just saying it's good? Come on, yeah, Sexy Red, yeah. Stop playing with me. It gotta be good.
Why is he looking at the sky like that?
But it gotta be good.
Well, what about Sexy Red?
Now look, now this nigga, like yo, they is marketing him the same way they did Charleston White. So my man sent me a motherfucking video of this nigga posing went. I ain't seen it yet.
They want to give you these. Oh, wow.
607 and Alex Stein in racism at city council.
Number 607 UNC.
Yo, why? Look at this shit, yo. This not real. This can't be real. My man sent me this shit.
Everybody, I'm locked in a firmament and I'm stuck in assimilation.
Name and address, please.
Oh yeah, my name. I'm from the Paroma. That's like in the heavens. It's like the same as heaven, but it's different. And I come to talk about Trump because I love Trump, and y'all disrespect Trump, and y'all don't know that y'all devils, and y'all come from the devils. Y'all fell from heaven. And y'all don't know that Trump is good. He black stuck in another body because the world assimilation and everything is reincarnated. Oh, sorry. Everything is reincarnated.
Yo, what is this, y'all? This can't be real. My man said this ain't real. But but look at how they playing. Like this is how they play in our face with sucker fuck shit like this.
And I got some papers I need y'all to sign because I'm trying to let everybody know that Michelle Obama is a man. Her name is Michael, and don't nobody know. But this right here, if y'all can help me sign this, we can kind of like get a gender reveal. Because she's a man. I mean, he's a man. It's kind of like a he, she. But it's different. But I need to get out the first.
No, it's not real.
And I need to get to Antarctica. So I need you guys to help me get to Antarctica too, right? Because y'all blocking me from Antarctica. And you doing it for sure because you know you feel from the heavens. And I can look at you and tell that you...
Hey, yo, this is all fuckery, yo. I'm not watching this shit. Yeah, this ain't real. All fuckery, yo. Posted on prime time with Alex Stein. Like they crossing these niggas over. Oh God, yo, you see what I'm saying? This is a white man's channel. They bring 607 Unc on there.
Ladies and gentlemen, I know what you're seeing is a little.
They bring 607 Unc on there, and 607 Unc is a representative of black people. That's his goal. He might try to play gangster, but he's sticking up for you. No, the fuck he ain't. They can't speak for me. They can't speak for nobody. Yo, any person that's willing to get online and play a fucking character, yo, you can't be no spokesman. You playing a character. Yo, we about sick of characters. A lot of these rappers in the 90s was characters. Ice Cube was a character. Like we done with characters, man. You know what I mean? We don't need no characters. Like you can take that character shit and get in a cartoon or something. Like we don't need characters. We need real people with real messages that live what they say. Not hypocrites that just be talking for views. But that's what they give us. They give us a whole rack of hypocrites that's just talking for views. They talking us right to sleep. Yeah, man, that nigga the worst. I don't know who created them, but they create more of them. I mean, that's what we got now. We got a whole bunch of niggas like yo. Like why? And then look who platform they chose to put it on. You get this guy who's obviously selling out for profit. Obviously. I mean, he's pushing ignorance. If you was to talk to him day to day, he probably don't even act like that. But you get him, you put him on a platform with a white guy who more than likely a large part of his audience is also white. And he acts like he goes to Congress and just talk ignorance, nonsense. So when an average white person see that, they're like, look, there go those niggers. I knew it. Because people don't be knowing this shit. Like my man said this to me, he thought it was real. You understand? People see these things and they don't know it's real. They think it's real. They think 607 Unc is a representation of Black America. 607 Unc is a fucking sellout. He don't represent us. But as long as they propel the platform, he does represent us. That's the issue. That's the issue. You know what I mean? That's why these guys are a problem. That's why I be attacking them niggas like how I do, because you selling out, man. You pushing stereotypes. You pushing ignorance. So they know what he could possibly say. That's the thing they fear. Nah, yo. No, they don't fear that. He created, bro. They don't fear nothing he's created. He's never going to say anything outside of what they want him to say. Yo, when you start speaking too boldly on this internet, yo, they fuck with your views. That's what they do. I mean, especially if you come out that way. Man, you come out talking too hard on this internet, yo. I was just talking to a guy. And he was like, yo, a guy I had to take to Ohio yesterday. And he was like, yo, what's your focus? I'm like, my focus is the truth. Yo said, well, if that's your focus, they're gonna make it hard for you. I'm like, yeah, I know. I mean, like, yo, they don't want the truth on the internet. They want, especially when it comes to us, they want us to be entertained with nonsense and fuckery. Meanwhile, like Black Monster said, it's real shit going on. I mean, it's real shit going on. They don't want nobody on this internet that can really create change. You know what I mean? If they think I know we talked about COINTELPRO. We know the federal government interest in the Black community. You know what I mean? Man, they scared to death of another Black man coming up and voices getting too loud. So how you fix that? You bring all these guys, you propel them to the top. Like I always tell y'all, that's the play. That's what's going on right now. You bring these guys, you propel them to the top, you make their voice loudest, and they just push nonsense and ignorance. But they say some real shit sometimes. That's the caveat. To keep everybody on board, you gotta say some real shit sometimes. You can't be all the way real. You gotta mix the fuck shit with it. You know what I mean? You gotta mix the selling out. You gotta do that. Because we still want the narrative and the image of Black men in America or Black people in America to be what it is. We want the women to look like hoes. We want the men to be ignorant. So you gotta push that. But if you push that solely, you're gonna lose the people. So you gotta say something real. That's the plan, yo. That's what they do. That's what they have been doing. So they have been doing. Prime example. Another one. Antonio Brown. Just as on Aiden Ross. This is on Aiden Ross. So look, they locked up one of the dudes from the what's it called? So this one of the guys that they booked. Look, they taking pictures of. He a trophy. Look, y'all, we got him. Antonio Brown. Look at this bullshit. I don't think this is real. I think this was a play. Oh, you got so many sellouts, yo. They everywhere. Like, we can't get rid of these niggas. If y'all think this was real, this wasn't real, man. I ain't gonna believe this shit real till somebody get booked. Yo, so you mean to tell me he got into a fight with a dude? And y'all know who he was fighting. He lying about the chain snatching thing. He pushing the narrative. Let me show you how I know. Let me show you. Show you how I know. So this is the guy.
They were loving, they were kind. All the Muslims I know.
This is the guy that not this fuck boy. That Antonio Brown was fighting.
They were loving, they were kind. All the Muslims I know will still kick your ass and kill you.
Him right here.
All of them. Would it justify them? No, the Muslims won't go build the book to that. Now you falling for the trickery. No, I'm not falling for the trickery. No, I'm telling you, all my niggas are Muslim. From Rollo to all of them. Every nigga I know that walk with is a Muslim. All of them still homos. I'm not a homo. I don't know you. I don't know you. So I'll introduce myself for you.
He part of the play. Like, yo, this what I'm saying. Yo, we just getting sellouts. Like, who is he? Yo, Muslim man don't move like this. Yo, we just getting sellouts all over the place. All over the place, man. They done found a Muslim and made him participate in the play. Knowing good goddamn well what they call it, haram. This shit should be haram, man.
All the Muslims I know is whoremongering Muslims. I don't know who's a Muslim. Man, I ain't gonna say that, but
so this is the guy that Antonio Brown was fighting. Antonio Brown said they tried to take his chain. I don't think this guy tried to take his chain. Look. Look, that's the same guy. That's what I'm saying. He playing, yo. Like they playing with us. They giving us all these fuck boys to watch. Like, yo, this shit is crazy, man. And he supposed to come out with a gun. Slow as Antonio Brown. That nigga need to be. He need to get some type of medical treatment and get the fuck off the internet. Because the brain, he probably losing motherfucking brain cells daily. They say Antonio Brown ain't been the same since that hit with motherfucking Burford. I think that hit with Burford over, man. Y'all remember that hit?
Oh shit!
You say he's a key for us and them. Yo, you can't be a key for us and them. That ain't gonna work. So he fired the gun twice. Now this is not self-defense, y'all. This is not stand your ground. So how the fuck did he walk away from this? So they got video of him being escorted out. Hold up. See. Now check out what he said.
Story time.
Nah, not at all. No. Yeah, Charles is right. Nah, no story time.
Listen.
Yo, there you go.
Hey, County, Liberty City.
Yo, that's all you gotta say. That's all you gotta say, AB.
I know talking. Thanks for inviting me tonight, though.
Love you, bro. Thank you, bro. I'm so sorry.
Hey, the champ right here. Hey, yo, champ.
Oblivion.
Come on, baby. Good shit tonight. This the real champ right here.
Sir, 3-0.
Good shit. 3-0, bro. Good show. Where to fight, bro. Younger champion. Big heart, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I just clapped you up outside. You saw that shit right here.
Right after I saw what happened to you.
What happened?
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
We left some blood out there, huh?
Huh?
There's niggas out there bleeding.
Catch up. Nothing. I didn't see. Yeah, catch up.
Yeah, I got CT out.
Now, Antonio Brown acts like he's a real guy. But you sitting here with Charleston White, a certified rat, one of the worst rats, one of the biggest sellouts we got right now in the community. Like when they come out to sellouts, I would probably put Charleston White top 5. Because Charleston White's the one that told people that we could snitch. People snitching is how you fix the community. Went on multiple platforms, said that shit. Knowing good and goddamn well it snitches everywhere and the community still fucked up. So that ain't gonna work. Austin White goes on platform after platform and promotes arresting of black men, young and old, in community. But we've been arresting black men since the 90s. That shit ain't fixed yet. But Antonio Brown acts like he's a real guy and he's silent, but you hang with a certified rat. That's why I don't fuck. That's why I be leaning on these niggas is bozos, all of them. You can't trust them, yo. Can't trust them.
I blacked out, ain't it? I know you did. I know what happened. I know. Your eyes, man. Bring it came out. Bring it up, bro.
Now they sit back talking about it like it's real. Like that's the deceit, that's the diabolicalness and all of this shit. They run these plays and then sit back and talk about it straight face like it's real. I won't be, because what he did wasn't justified. If he really fired the gun, similar to the WAC 100 and these kind of shit, if he really fired the gun in front of all those people and he not charged, this shit was fake.
But he one of them niggas, I don't know, but they was jumping to help him. So, but he was trying to help. No, because they thought you was getting drunk. So he trying to like pull y'all apart. Slam that nigga again. And you kicked him in his shit. Yeah. He was like, what the fuck? I was trying to help. I was like, he would run through anybody when he used to play. Shit, I'm just saying, bro. Security not gonna hold AB back. Kicked him in his shit. He's a unit. I know who it was. It was a lot of niggas. A lot of shit going on, bro. W-Man. W-Man. I'm not asking now, where his cheeks at? We going on the yacht. You want to play? He said, Uncle birthday. Oh, you got some birthday. Hey, ain't nothing to lose a little skin. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I get that shit back. Oh, yeah. It grows right back. Put a little skin on the ground, come right back. Yeah. You are short.
Yeah, AB fucked up, y'all. Yo ain't been right since that motherfucker and that birthday hit. Soldier Boy going in on DDG. Y'all remember that hit, right? Why the fuck that should be doing that? Antonio Brown, Vontaze Burfict. Yeah, Antonio Brown been fucked up ever since this. You ain't been the same since. Yeah, but he ain't been the same since, man. He ain't been the same since. Yeah, but it was I think it was because it was aimed at the head. Like that was a hell of a blow. I remember that game. Now look at this shit. 1.9 million views.
Have you ever seen that before?
This is another example of the guys that they give us. Like we could just go through these people and just go from like look at this nigga, another one. Just check him out. Like who's he? Where'd he come from? What relevance? What does he add to the culture? For him to be on all these platforms, what does he add? He doesn't add anything. They brought this man along to make some of the wildest allegations, y'all. Let's go back, cause I meant to watch this whole shit. Just so we can get a good laugh off of him.
Calling for a retrieval, and a family is concerned about a loved one. Those same characteristics that this woman listed is the same things that streetwalkers will list about their boyfriend, which is actually their pimp and panderer. That's why I have an affinity for people who are survivors of this type of nonsense and oppression. And this sounds familiar. You know, along this path, I've been poisoned 3 times. My toxicology report showed cyanide. And, you know, cyanide metabolizes into pneumonia in your body. So I've had pneumonia on 3 occasions. You know, these...
Like, yo, 2 million people see this on another white platform. Yo, this man is obviously lying. He's obviously lying. Yo, he said he got poisoned 3 times, yo. And he ain't done. He ain't just get poisoned 3 times. He also was in 3 car accidents in the last 2 weeks. Yo, it's only been 16 days. At the time of this interview, it was 14 days in May. This man said he been in 2 accidents, 3 this month. So which means he had to have 2 in 1 week. Unless he had 3 in 1 week. But yo, that's damn near impossible.
Problems didn't start for me until I started to speak out about people like this. You know, it's been a hard time to line up this interview because the last time I was scheduled to be in this interview, randomly, our car gets hit from the side by a blacked out vehicle.
You know he lied, bro.
No license plate. That's happened 3 times this month so far.
Really?
Somebody didn't want me to do this interview. Yeah, somebody didn't want me to do this interview. You know, I'm somebody where I've had FBI come to my house before and tell me they found a threat against my life.
FBI,
so, you know, I'm well versed in this world. But, you know, I got round the clock security. One of them was sitting right here with me right now. This is a dangerous game people are playing, and it's a good feeling for me to see the justice system prevail. And some people deserve retribution.
You clearly feel that.
It's crazy the amount of people that touts the justice system. The justice system might be the sole reason the black community is in the position that it's in as a whole. The justice system, the FBI, the CIA, Homeland Security, those agencies may be the sole reason that the black community is in disarray. But you got niggas like yo and others that will get up this bitch on huge platforms and tout the justice system. What? Not the same system that put crack cocaine and guns in the community. Not that system. There's no way you talk about that system. Not that system that aggressively targets black men and charge them with these wild ass RICOs that were designed to take down the mob and shit like that. There's no way we talking about that system. Fuck no. These niggas is weirdos, man. I swear I want to know who employing them.
Over the years,
it's the feds.
Has made people disappear.
Right. Well, Pierce, let me ask you a question. From your journalistic perspective, have you ever noticed how in this industry, people untimely meet their demise soon as somebody else seems like they're having a problem? Have you ever seen that before?
Well, there was, of course, the case of one of his other ex-girlfriends, Kim Porter, who died of pneumonia at a very young age. You just referenced your own.
Now they trying to connect him. Yo, this is crazy work, y'all. So he bring up that he got pneumonia 3 times, which is obviously a lie. Kim Porter died of pneumonia. Now they trying to connect the fact that he got poisoned with pneumonia and survived to the fact that she died from pneumonia. Like, yo, this is disgraceful work. This is disgraceful, man. And for the longest time, Piers Morgan page was deemed like it was reputable. Like it was reputable news. But now it's like it might have never been it might have always been propaganda, bullshit, nonsense, fuckery.
situation with pneumonia that you believe was deliberate poisoning. Do you believe that may be what happened to her?
Why are so many people coming down with pneumonia? Why is that happening to everybody? What is that about? Where have you ever seen this many cases of pneumonia associated with
right.
So
I didn't think about that.
There were rumors
he'd have been a perfect candidate. He'd have been a perfect candidate to die from pneumonia. Yeah, like, cause he already can't breathe properly. That was a good observation, man. That man can't survive pneumonia 3 times the way he breathed. Lungs already fucked up.
On this, that there have been rumors circulating online that Diddy may have poisoned Jamie Foxx, which caused his 2023 hospitalization. In his Netflix show, he compared Combs to the devil in revealing his near-death experience after a brain bleed and stroke. He said, I say this all the time. I saw the tunnel. I didn't see the light. It was hot in that tunnel. I thought, shit, have I gone to the wrong place? I looked up the end of a tunnel, and I thought I saw the devil saying, come on. Or was that Puffy? I'm effing around, but if that was Puffy, had a flaming bottle of Johnson. And no, I'm just kidding. I think that you have taken that to be a not too oblique reference to the fact that he suggested he may too have been poisoned.
This shit crazy, yo.
Jamie Foxx said out of his mouth
that
his partner handed him an Advil, and after he took that Advil, he woke up 22 days later. That's what he said out of his mouth. I feel like us as a species, I feel like human skepticism has become a virus, because if we don't trust the words of our peers, where are we as a species? You know, eyewitness testimony and circumstantial evidence is enough to get a person a life sentence in any court on the earth. Why is it that when people are whistleblowing and putting their life and livelihood on the line, they receive so much scrutiny? I don't think that's by chance.
Yo, America don't respect whistleblowers. Like, what the fuck is he? See, that's why I can't watch more of this shit. I wanted to try to watch the whole Jiffy, but it's hard for me to watch fuck boys. I guess that's the best way I can explain it. Like, you can call it what you want. Yo, nobody respects the whistleblower. Edward Snowden was a whistleblower. They want to kill his ass. If that nigga was come back to the United States today, he'd be dead. He'd be dead on arrival. Fuck is he talking about? What is he talking about, man? Niggas, man. I don't know. These guys crazy. That's one thing I do know. One thing I do know is these niggas ain't organic. There's a lot of fuck shit going on. I wanted to try to watch it because I know it got worse. But it's hard for me to sit back. Like, we're going to be watching this this is a 25-minute video. We're going to be watching this shit for 3 hours. Because I'm going to keep pausing it and keep pausing it and keep pausing it. Because he's just going to say something stupid. It's just going to get stupider and stupider and stupider. To the point where it's like, all right, god damn. Like, yo, this thing's just getting out of control. Y'all, 2 million people watch this. That means people shared this. Unless YouTube promoted it to 2 million people, but I doubt it. I mean, people shared this. People agreed with this. You understand? People actually think that what he's saying is facts and true. But it's lies and fabricated. It doesn't even make sense. 3 black trucks in 2 weeks tried to kill you, bro. And they didn't succeed. So once they hit you, they ain't decided to get out and just finish you off. Like, ain't that typically how it go? They just crashed you and kept it going, hoping you died. Left you there for dead. You get up this bitch, you ain't got a bruise. You was in 3 accidents. Look at his face. He ain't got a bruise on his face. Look like he just motherfucking jumped out the motherfucking... Like, yo, come on, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here, my nigga. Tell it... Like I say, yo, it just shows that they think we stupid. It just shows that they've been running plays on us for so long that, yeah, we'll believe anymore. We can sell the black community any motherfucking thing. They gonna buy that shit. You know what I mean? We can sell them anything. Just like how they bought mass incarceration, how they bought the crack epidemic, we gonna sell them ignorance. We gonna sell them ignorance and they gonna buy that shit. And we are buying it. But my thing is, I don't know if the numbers is real. That's my thing. I don't know if their numbers is real, so I don't know if it's we really buying it or they buying it. You understand what I'm saying? They inflating the numbers, but as long as they inflate the numbers, this motherfucker gonna stay in your face because it looks like he's bringing in revenue. It looks like he's the guy to interview. I mean, he's the new guy on the block. I mean, put him on a platform, push nonsense, push ignorance. It's a fucking clown. Ain't couldn't none of them niggas sit back and talk to me without being exposed. Clown ass niggas. I keep losing my lighter, yo. Okay, go. But yeah, this shit real, man. No, yo, people just believe, people just buy whatever is being sold to them. That's really what be going on. People don't like thinking for themselves. People, they just going, if you sell it, we buying it. You know what I mean? And we gonna distribute that shit for you. You ain't gotta put no work in. All you gotta do is sell it. We gonna make sure that shit get to the masses. And it don't be real. It just be all nonsense. All nonsense. But ain't really too much else going on for real. Got the Trump beef with Walmart over the tariffs. Trump said Walmart need to bite the extra money and don't charge the consumers. See what the fuck happened with that. You know what I mean? He talking about he watching. See what he do. You know what I mean? See if he just gonna watch or see if he gonna take some type of action. Let's see what else got going on. You got this girl.
Hey y'all, so sorry about
I don't
that.
fuck
I
with
made
these
sure I
people.
put my phone on Do Not Disturb. But I just wanted to check in.
I don't
see
fuck
how
with
y'all
these
are
people,
feeling.
y'all. It's another one. Now, just as Jasmine Crockett, I think that's her name. And they all speak this political shit, right? But don't none of them speak about the things that's really affecting the black community. Like, yo, they strategically stay out of that shit. They strategically stay out of the real issues. Yo, she didn't speak not one time for Carmelo Anthony. She ain't speak not one time before all the racial tension going on in Texas right now over that case. She ain't said nothing. Loud as she has been in the last couple years, she haven't said nothing. That shit was 3 weeks ago. That's why I always say, y'all, pay attention to what people don't talk about. That's how you decide what side they really on. Pay attention to what people strategically stay away from. The issues that we see, that we know, that people strategically stay away from, it tell you who they align with and who they are versus who they not.
My head hurts. My heart hurts. It's hard. And so if I'm exhausted, I know y'all are too. So I'm just jumping out for like 2 quick seconds. Gonna try to answer a few questions if y'all have some. And I'm gonna just tell y'all the best way that I can about what happened at the end of the week. So we were scheduled to be in votes from Tuesday to Friday. So the way that we work is normally we have 4 voting days. We either come in on Monday and leave on Thursday, or we come in on Tuesday and leave on Friday. So we came in on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, so the very next day, they were like, oh, we're going to cancel votes on Friday, okay? So that means we voted Tuesday night, Wednesday, Thursday. we had our biggest committees that met. And when I say biggest as it relates to reconciliation, which is just a word so that people maybe won't be paying attention and be like, we don't know what that is, so I'm gonna just move on with life. So long story short, basically, this is their way of passing through a budget without having to deal with the filibuster, which means that even though the Democrats are in the minority in the Senate, they could still filibuster stuff except for reconciliation. Okay. So we've been talking as Democrats about how this is all about giving tax breaks to the billionaires. That is true. But in short, it's just cruelty. I mean, because after they decided to go through the cuts, so when I talk about those big committees, Ways and Means is where you deal with taxation. And in the Ways and Means Committee, that is where they voted for these deeper tax cuts. And it is where we did not hear anything about no tax on tips. Just want to be clear, that ain't in the bill. Your boy lied again. So we have that. Hold on, I see a question. I'm gonna screenshot this real quick. I don't know. Maybe I'm not allowed to screenshot. That may mess up the live. Okay. So anyway, so they met Ways and Means to deal with the tax part. And then you have the Energy and Commerce Committee that met. That is where all of the healthcare stuff comes from. That is where we said that they were going to mess up people's Medicaid, and they kept saying the Democrats were lying and the rubber is meeting the road. So they met and they were in committee for over 24 hours, fighting it out and fighting through these $880 billion worth of cuts. And then the Agriculture Committee met as well, and they actually met 2 separate days. So they didn't keep going. They stopped after the first night, then they went back in, and I believe it was $313 billion, which it was supposed to be like 200 and something. Anyway, it's all food assistance. That's what they cut out of the ag bill. So what it is the committees came together. They did their parts of the quote unquote big, beautiful bullshit bill. They did their parts and they put it all together. And the budget committee was supposed to come and say, okay, here it is, put it up for a vote. So the budget committee got everybody's bills, which I had my reconciliation markups last week. Yeah, last week we did mine. And I think it was last week or the week before, in Judiciary as well as Oversight. And when it came down to voting, even though the rest of the Congress or the rest of the House had been released and we weren't going to do full votes on the floor, the budget committee had to meet on Friday. And guess what? Republicans are in the majority. They couldn't get it done. And part of it is that the hardline Republicans, the very, very hardliners, like the true believers, hate the fact that, I mean, they could care less about the cuts to the people. They could care less. Absolutely could care less about people losing their health care. Ultimately, people will lose their lives, as there are reports coming out about the people that have lost their lives due to cutting off USAID. It is absolutely going to happen. They were mad that there's all these cuts for taxes. There's all these cuts to healthcare. There's all these cuts of federal workers and all the things, right? And they still need to lift the debt ceiling $5 trillion. So essentially, what we are experiencing is that the amount of money that they want to put back into the pockets of billionaires is even more than cutting people out of their jobs, cutting people out of their benefits, cutting people out of their health care, cutting people out of their, that's still not enough. There's still more that they want to put in their pockets. And so the hardline Republicans were like, we're fine with the cuts to the people that need this the most, but we're not okay with doing all of this. And we still running up the credit card bill, right? So we'll see what happens. I don't know. They're going to have to figure it out. Not my problem. Not my issue. I just need people to be educated and know that they are some straight up clowns and we need to get them out. All right. So now that I'm done with that, I am going to scroll to where we are, wherever we are, and I am going to ask y'all if y'all have any questions. Let's see. Why are people who are called to answer questions in the chambers not allowed to give a definitive answer when asked simple yes or no questions, but people can be held in contempt in court? Well, that's a good question. So when we're in committee, people get there two ways. We can subpoena people just like you can subpoena someone in court, but we don't have the same rules as court. Like, we have objections in court. We have an objection that's actually called non-responsive when you're in court. So if I ask you if the sky is blue and you start telling me about how you're having such a good day, I can then object to the judge and say, objection, judge, non-responsive. And then the judge can rule. And then the judge also can instruct the witness to answer the question. Instead, what we can do is basically we have to control the witnesses ourselves. And our best mechanism is to reclaim our time. So a lot of times you'll see, being in the minority, I usually won't necessarily ask the majority witnesses questions. Usually when you see me do like what you saw me do recently with the Trump or trans game, I asked our witness. Now, I did not tell her that this was going to happen. But I asked her because I knew she wouldn't try to give me a runaround. So usually I will look at people's bios, and even if they're not one of our witnesses, there may be something in their bio that makes me feel like, oh, I can ask them this question or that question. And because of what's in their bio, I know how they're going to answer it. And so I'll do it. But most of the time, I just don't even bother with their witnesses because they just want to take up your little 5 minutes and be, saying whatever they got to say. And I would rather use my time to say what I need to say. Let's see. And why wasn't Trump arrested when, listen, because the people voted him in. That's why Trump wasn't arrested. Listen, I mean, our foreign affairs issues right now are really beyond a cluster. Because there is this realignment right now, and I fully anticipate that once Trump is out of office, we will realign. But think about it like this. I know y'all done had some exes that have done some stuff, and you're like, I mean, I did have so much love for you, and we did have good times, but we did not end well. It's hard to trust. Like, I know some of y'all go back. We all do, right? But it is kind of hard to trust. And so even though it would be somebody else, it is going to take a lot of time to rebuild some of our relationships and our trust, as well as, and when I say our trust, not just the things that comes out of like whoever is the president's mouth, but like we have issues right now where, I mean, a lot of people probably still don't fully understand why Signalgate was so significant, but I'll just say it this way. There's a lot of information that we share. You share with your friends. Think about your closest friends. They're the ones that know a lot of stuff that, maybe the people that work with you don't know, right? Like, you tell your friends a lot of stuff. That is the best way to describe our relationships with our allies as it relates to assessing threats and how we share information back and forth. And if you got a friend who may be good meaning, who knows? I mean, only time will tell. But for whatever reason, your friend is reckless with the information that you give, you may be like, you know what, I'm just not going to tell you nothing no more because I don't need my business in the streets. That's pretty much probably how our friends are treating us. The bad part is that is not only putting us at risk, but that's putting them at risk because we don't exist in this world by ourselves. And it is important to have strong relationships and be able to trust those that you call your friends. And right now, we are the ones that are messing up the relationship. I'm a Jordan girl. The question was LeBron or Jordan. Let's see. Any other questions? Hold on, y'all. I'm tired. I've been traveling. Y'all know they always got me speaking somewhere.
Ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing that we need done. Yo, we just got too many. There's too many people with position, in power, that can make things happen, and nothing still get done, man. Yeah, man. It wouldn't have been like this in the 60s. If this is the 60s, and we had this many people in power with influence, shit would get done, man. But they turned everybody into sellouts and federal informants and shit. So their goal ain't to get nothing done. Their goal just to talk. Put the people on your side. Gain momentum. But do nothing. Do nothing. Remember, we found out you trying to do something, your ass going to jail. Yeah, for real. The minute you find out you trying to do something, we gonna put a case on your motherfucking ass. You better believe it.
Yeah, I knew NYC was going to take an overboard. Oh,
they going crazy in New York
right garbage. Now. Come on, bro. Nah, we can't do that. Throwing the garbage at people, son. Come on, bro. He was just trying to come watch the game, trying to chill out. I just knew it. Burning the jerseys, bro. How did he get up there on the Jumbotron, son? Like, how y'all get up there? Why are y'all up there? Like, you get what I'm saying, son? I told y'all NYC be bugging. It was in a frenzy yesterday. I already knew, son, on the Jumbotron is wicked. It's that serious, bro. Look how many people out there, son. That's insane, bro. Nah. Yeah, I knew NYC was going to take an overboard.
They were crazy in New York. They were crazy in New York. They made the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm not going 10th row. I'm not going 5th row. I gotta be
now look
front
at this
row.
nigga.
So you want all the
Because somebody you don't like, your enemy, gonna come sit right. You know, we call that the Joe Button seats. You know them second row.
I don't even got a
hoodie.
I don't even got a hood.
Yo, listen, them second, third row, I can't do it. I gotta sit front row. I'll give you my experience.
What do you call them seats?
The Joe Button seats. Them shit second row. You know, perfect example. Him and 50 got some shit, and I'm sitting courtside, and 50 comes
He was
sit.
right behind y'all.
Okay, but he's behind us.
Those were still considered floor seats.
Those
If
are
you know
great.
anything.
Listen, I didn't know that.
It's AA and BB.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the man had a little something going on with 50, and why God put 50 Cent front row, and he's in like third row. Like, that would bother me if I was Joe Buttons. It happened to me before.
Internet is not like a real place. I would expect a Fat Joe to know that. I need more than internet fodder to ever assume that there's really beef with somebody. Me and 50 have over 20 years, and I never thought that would escalate. And if I feel like that, I just need more than some internet chat for me to feel like that, number one. Number two, if you fight in the garden, you're banned for life. You're not doing it again. And if you're tough enough to fight there during a game, then, my nigga, I don't assume any of us millionaire, multi-millionaire, 9-figure people to do that at the Garden. I just don't. The light is dead. If I'm at the Knicks game, it's just because I'm a Knicks fan. Yeah. It's really just that simple. I'm not with all the extra hoopla out there. I'm not out here running around moving with the leverage of my management company or trying to be buddy-buddy or friendly with rappers that I'm not really buddy-buddy or friendly with. I'm the walking embodiment of standing on my own, too. And you know that, which is why you're using my name on your newly established platform, trying to get traction, because I'm the best in the biz. I recognize that, too. Lastly, I just don't know what Joe Budden seats mean, and because I have so much relationship equity with Fat Joe, I'll wait for him to tell me. I don't want to assume. On one hand, where I come from, you would want to be seated behind your enemy, if anything. That's where the logic. That's the part I didn't follow. Yeah. You wouldn't want to be seated in front of him. So, if he was talking about that, I don't really get it, but that's on him. And lastly, maybe Joe Budden seats just means sitting behind somebody you make a lot more than. Until we get clarity on it, we won't really know. But be clear, reimagine how y'all mentioned my name in some of these conversations. I make a lot more than you niggas. So, if I'm seated behind you, it's by choice, enjoying some popcorn with my baby. If I was sitting in the nosebleeds, I make more than you. Like, my seat should never come up in your conversation. If I was outside in a lawn chair watching on a fucking mobile device, my seat shouldn't come up in none of y'all conversations. That was confusing.
I'm not going 10th row. I'm not going.
Yeah, that sound like Fat Joe has. He's insecure. He has identity issues. Why the fuck does it matter? Now I get, you get money. You want to be in the mix. You want to sit front row. And but tonight, he said he won't go. That man said if he can't get front row tickets, he won't go. That's different, bro. That shows you have some type of inferiority complex. Or you got some type of issues, man. Like, you way too old to be saying that. Yeah, you too old to be talking like that, man. That's some shit you heard from a motherfucking 20-year-old rapper. Just on his first deal, just getting paid. Man, you 50 years old, my nigga. You worry about the wrong shit. And you won't go because you can't get front floor seats. I think Joe Buttons made perfect sense. I hardly ever agree with Joe Buttons. But for the purpose of this conversation, I think he made perfect sense. Nigga, I'm going there with my girl. Nigga, I don't give a fuck if I'm in the first floor, first row, second row, third row. It ain't even about none of that. Like, Fat Joe still trying to impress niggas. Like, yo 50 years old still trying to impress niggas, still trying to keep up with the Joneses. Yo dumb as shit. Priorities definitely fucked up. That was a dumbass statement. You gonna have to tighten up, but that podcast ain't gonna go nowhere. I mean, I don't know. People like nonsense. People probably still watch it. I don't watch that shit. Did y'all see this? Look at this, y'all. The cost of living back in 1938. A new house, $3,900. Average income, $1,731 per year. A new car, $600. Average rent, $27 per month. Tuition to Harvard University, $420 per year. Movie tickets, 25 cents each. Gasoline, 10 cents per gallon. What the fuck happened, y'all? What happened? I thought the prices hiked so high, man. It's the same product. It probably costs the same to make or get. Motherfuckers got greedy. They go, these are crazy prices, man. $1938. Need to go back to 1938. Shit. Y'all see
It's
that?
all about money. You know how much money they could have made off of this?
Another sellout. So they used Snoop Dogg and that murder charge to propel his career. Meanwhile, the bodyguard was the one that did it. I think Snoop snitched for real.
Snoop guilty? You can't mention the murder trial without talking about McKinley Lee. The whole case was really about me. It wasn't about Snoop. It was about me, the trigger man. The person that said committed murder. It wasn't Snoop. It was me. It's what I did. They tried to paint a picture that he did something, but it wasn't anything that he did. And everybody knows now. They know the story. If you don't know the story, I told the truth from the very beginning. You know, and they said that I was too detailed and too articulate, that I must be lying. They didn't arrest us. We turned in. So once we turned ourselves in, and I gave my statement that I was a trigger man, I was placed under arrest. They let Snoop go. They had, his bail. He made bail. I was at no bail. But now, if you look at it, you go to his bio. You can't look at his bio without finding my name. God did that. You can't. If you do leave out McKinley, why? Why would you do that? That's the dude who saved your life. Why would you leave him out? Why would you do that? Why would you want to do that? It's all about money. You know how much money they could have made off of this had they found Snoop guilty? You can't mention the murder.
I think they made more money off of it, finding him not guilty. They're misinformed. What is he talking about? The money was finding him not guilty.
I guess.
So Marlo Sandfield is doing the documentary. Marlo Sandfield is a kingpin. I think The Wire was based around him.
As y'all know, a lot of killers grew up around here.
Just came home not too long ago.
Yeah. You gotta walk with it on you. If you don't, just know you better be ready to fit the.
I guess as y'all.
Yeah, he doing a documentary on his life.
See so much wrong and so little right that the wrong becomes your right.
In the early 80s, heroin was controlled by 3 or 4 mostly African-American organizations in Baltimore City.
The Stanfield organization, it was a reign of terror in Baltimore.
You see so much wrong.
Now, when this come out? Is this already out?
We ain't gonna go to jail, right? No.
Like it, hold it.
No, you're not either.
I got life for the murder and 10 years for manslaughter.
We did a lot of things we wasn't supposed to do.
Ain't do no telling.
Motherfucker say Sterling Wink so good. He convinced me that I did the murder and I ain't even do the motherfucker.
They try to get a conviction at all costs. That's how they operate.
They know I ain't do this shit. They wanted me off the streets, man.
What I say?
So they set my ass up.
I told you. They try to get a conviction at all costs. They'll lie. They'll manipulate. They'll do anything possible, yo, to get a motherfucking conviction, man.
What part of town was this in? What we have? Locked up for something you didn't do. Came back, I'm 60 years old now.
Hey! 60?
Yeah, 60.
See, niggas that grew up in West Baltimore Project, and if you couldn't swim around this motherfucker, you was going to drown. It was a gold mine, it was raining money, and niggas wanted to be a part of that, man.
I wanted this. When this out? Must not be out yet. Say coming soon.
Say Omar coming, right? And say people used to throw their fucking dope and all that shit out the window and shit. I said, what kind of TV show is that? Where they do that shit at? Understand this. Me, I never had to beef with nobody. If I had to beef with somebody, I would deal with it right then and there on the spot. I'm good with these, awesome with that, dang with that, know what's out this. I'm all the way around board, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I gotta be me.
Yeah, we gotta watch this, y'all. We gotta figure out when this coming out. Might gotta reach out. You know, we ain't got a whole bunch of, like, we don't support rats in Baltimore. Like, this ain't one of those cities where rats get major support. Like, no, fuck no. You gotta be silent. You ain't getting no documentary you told. You feel me? No, fuck no, not in Baltimore. Niggas ain't nobody gonna watch that bitch. Niggas don't want to see no Big Meat documentary. Though it know what the fuck he did to get home. But shit, I appreciate everybody that tapped in. Y'all make sure y'all share the live, man. Y'all share the live. We're gonna be going live tomorrow evening. Excuse me. Probably around like 12. Then, you know, we're going to do the 11 o'clock. I'm off tomorrow. We're going to do 11 o'clock too. But make sure I subscribe to the channel with that like button. Read what it is. Hit my phone, my nigga. It's another day of QBG News. And I'm out.